Hi. Whoever is here, hello. I'm just going to have my painkillers. I'm having a bit of a rough day today. When am I not having a rough day? Come on, let's face it. When am I not having a rough day? Let me get myself organised and get my chair in a comfy position. Otherwise, my back will be worse than it is already. This chair will not roll on the carpet. That's a bit better. Oh, well, nobody's saying hello to me yet. Oh, hi, Diane. Hi, Munchkin. Oh, dear. I'm having a bad day today. If you've got a bad back, you know what I'm talking about. We don't need to go into it. Hi, Chrissy. We're just having a day today. It's probably because I walked about in 3 shops. Oh, dear. Hi, Sue. Excuse me while I just swallow my drugs. Prescription drugs, by the way, just in case you're wondering, in case I've gone off the rails a bit. Yeah. Hi, Mimi. Oh, I think I forgot to put the sweetness in. Hi, Christine. Hi, Esther. I've got backache, but it's been a gorgeous day. I will say that. The sun shone, and it actually did feel a little bit warmer today, which did help. But you know I can't walk, and I went in 3 shops. I went round 2 charity shops, thrift shops if you're in America, and I went into the chemist, pharmacy, whatever you want to call it. And that was a big shop. So by the time I'd walked around 3 shops, my back was, I walked around 4 shops because I went into Marks and Spencer's. So my daughter-in-law, why don't you walk more? Yeah, this is why I'm taking another pill. Yes, I bought, I didn't go in the wool. I resisted all temptation, despite Crochet Rocks telling me she'd been in Poundland. I resisted all temptation. I bought, it's like, if you look at the last video I've made before this one, you'll see what I bought. I bought like a round neck t-shirt, which I did pay quite a bit for considering it's in a charity shop, but it did kind of look new. I paid £4.50 for that, which I thought was quite expensive. But I got like a scarf in like chenille. It was £2. And I got one that's more like a wrap. It was quite wide, actually, more like a, what do they call them? I forgot what they call them. I remembered when I was making the video. I forgot now. It's like a wide scarf, and it has pearl beads and glitters on the end of it, and that was £2. So I thought that was quite a bargain. So hiya, Judy. Hiya, Craft Knit Sew. Pashmina, that's the word, Pashmina. This shawl has been all around the world with me. Everywhere I've been, this shawl has been. It's very, very old, and I've just noticed it's got a break in it, which I will need to repair. Luckily, it's a break on the white bit. Well, I think there's 2 breaks on it. But it's so old, it's no wonder it's falling to bits. Oh, dear. My mum made me a gorgeous, well, she made it for herself, actually. I inherited it. A gorgeous granny square blanket. But she used the, what do you call it? That, oh, God, my brain's not with me today. The circle that you draw up. I don't. I crochet like 3 chain and go into the hole. That's that kind of circle. Magic ring, that's the word, Laurie, thank you. And with age and with washing, nearly every one of them has started to come apart from the centre. As I don't have the colours that Mum had used, I'm having to try and darn them all up by gathering all the stitches up together. It kind of puts me off using the blanket because it's falling to bits, literally. But from the centre outwards, yeah. Obviously, when she did them, she either didn't darn them in very well or whatever she did. But it's put me off using the magic ring. because of what happened to this blanket. It was lovely, lovely, huge, huge blanket. She had like a king size bed, and it was massive. It hangs over the head, and it's huge, this blanket. But it's all falling to bits. I'm having to darn it every time I wash it. This one's just falling to bits where it's joined together. You know, where I've seen, I crochet mine together. I don't sew them. But this is, it actually still smells of suntan oil because I can't get rid of it. Yeah, still smells gloriously of suntan oil. It's granny squares, but I put them together in a slightly different way. If I stand up, maybe you can see. You probably see the hole somewhere with it. Yeah. You start with a granny square, but you sort of put it off centre. Yeah. You don't like do it that way. You do it kind of. I'm not very good at explaining. But you have to do like half granny squares at the edge to finish it all off. Yeah. That's like the top of the shawl. But I must do another one actually because I have worn this one so much. I put it on today because even though I've got a big jumper on, I am cold. Got a hair now. I think I've told you before, I feel the cold, something dreadful. I really do feel the cold. And everybody else is going, oh, isn't it hot? Oh, isn't it warm? And I am shivering. I'm just cold. I've got my mittens on. I've got my finger things on where, you know, the arthritis is the worst. Yeah. Apart from that, I'm fine. I'll be all right when the pills kick in. If I start going to sleep, you know they've kicked in. Yeah. I've put the heating on. I haven't lit the fire. I wasn't in the humour. I was waiting in for the Amazon man to come because I broke my goggles that I wear on my scooter. The lens fell out, but when I come to look, it's cracked. I don't know what you can see, it's cracked. It's cracked, so they won't stay in. So I've ordered a new pair of goggles, but they're not as good as this pair. These bend round, so when I'm going down the seafront, my son calls me Gangster Granny, by the way, the wind doesn't go in and the grit doesn't go in the sides of my eyes. So I'm quite upset that I broke them. I put them in my pocket and I just must have, I don't know, lent on my pocket or something. You can see the crack right down them. The lens fell out, but then the lens does come out because it might be able to be super glued, Munchkin. I don't know. I haven't looked at it. I'll ask my son if he can super glue it together for me. I bought this new pair, but they're not as comfortable. They're just not as this pair is. The new pair comes with 4 different lenses. It's got like yellowy gold sparkly ones, yellow ones, plain ones, and then black ones like this. These just came with the one set. These were actually motorbike goggles, yeah. So we'll see. Yeah, Gangster Granny, that's what my son called me. I must admit, I had those on, and I also had his motorbike, like a masky thing that comes up round here, and it was black. So it came up round here. Whoops, that way. Came up round here, and I had those glasses on, and I had my hat on, which was black. So my son said, are you going robbing a bank or something, Mother? He said, you look like Gangster Granny. But surprisingly enough, while I was wearing all this get-up, I went down the seafront and somebody actually said, hello, John. They must have recognised the scooter. Hey, Connie. They couldn't possibly have known it was me wearing all that get-up. Yeah. Well, one of my friends has been ill all week. She's had pneumonia, or pneumomby, as my dad used to call it. So she's been on antibiotics from the GP. She said she's feeling a little bit better today, but she's still coughing. My other friend went to watch, oh God, what's it? Hamilton. Is it the show? No, I can't take it in the shops, Mimi. It's too big. Yeah. Yeah, the Flankwood Gangster, that was me. She went to see Hamilton in Manchester with her daughter. And on the way back, they cancelled 2 of her trains. So she was sat on Manchester Station, shivering, waiting for the 3rd train. Luckily, that did arrive. But she didn't get home until the wee small hours. So she wasn't exactly feeling chirpy-diddy. So we cancelled the Thursday cafe because I'd been up all night, saying hello to the great white throne. And I think it was the side effects of starting off my injections again, as I mentioned in my video. Every time they don't take them off me, I can't get them. Every time I can't get them for a couple of months, when I restart, I get all these side effects, which is really bad nausea, sickness, and, the other. And that's what gets me so angry, really, yeah. The side effects have calmed down now. I've managed to, I'm left on my own. Oh, poor me. They didn't go away till dinner time. I mean, to me, if you were going away for the day or the evening, I'd be gone by morning, first thing. But no, they went at lunchtime. So after that, I went down to Marks and Spencer's and I thought, do you know what? I fancy a nice piece of fish. And I got some lightly dusted plaice, which was gorgeous. I've just had that for my tea. I do love my fish, especially when my tummy's a bit off, I don't want anything spicy. I don't want anything whatever. My daughter-in-law made, it would have been nice under normal circumstances. It was like a chicken and mushroom with, not pasta, what's it called, that ribbon pasta. And it was in like a cream sauce, which would have been lovely, except my tummy was, So it was a bit too rich, really, for me. So I only ate a part of it last night. No, it wasn't ravioli. It's that flat, it's like flat pasta. It's long, flat pasta. It's got a name, hasn't it? It's kind of as long as spaghetti, but it's flat. Might be fettuccine. I don't like pasta. To be truthful, I do not like pasta. It might have been linguine. That does ring a bell. It might have been linguine. I'm not a pasta lover at all. Sorry if you're pasta freaks. I don't like pasta at all. I will eat it under duress. But the only pasta I do like is the fresh pasta that you buy in the supermarket, not the dried stuff. The dried stuff's disgusting. I don't mind the fresh. In fact, I think that linguine was the fresh stuff that you buy in the chill section. Normally, I would have enjoyed it. It was chicken and mushrooms, and I think it was onions in some white sauce with cream. But with your tummy's a bit, cream's not always a good idea, is it? You know what I mean? So I didn't eat an awful lot of it. So I bought myself some new crackers, plain crackers. And I got some cottage cheese because I seem to be all right with plain things like that. I'm not all over a pasta altogether, Connie. I can eat it now and again. And I don't like pizza. I know I'm weird. Do not like a pizza. I will eat pizza in an Italian restaurant, but I will not eat pizza that gets delivered to the door or that you buy in the supermarket. I just don't like it. No. When you go to, we had a lovely Italian restaurant in Prestwich called the Chroma. And they did beautiful pizzas, which I would eat, yeah. And my son's like, oh, why do you eat that pizza and you don't eat the pizza that we buy? It's different altogether when it's made fresh in a restaurant. It's not the same, like whatever it is, Domino's or whatever they're called. I just don't like it. Everybody else in the family loves it when the kids come here, the grandkids come, great-grandkids to me. They love a pizza. Everybody wants pizza. And pepperoni. Ooh, I hate pepperoni. What will you have, Mother? Don't bother. I'll just have an egg or something, Don't be giving me no pizza. I don't want it, yeah. I know I'm strange. I'm weird. And as for mac and cheese, I could just throw up the minute I taste it. I just hate mac and cheese. And I know it seems to be America's staple diet, mac and cheese. I loathe it with a passion. Oh, you saw Berry Market, yeah. They were actually running a trip to Berry Market from our local community centre. But it would be £20 for the ticket, which isn't too bad. But I'm hoping that they call me in early, you know, for my hand operation. So I don't really want to put my name down for anything like that, just in case I waste £20 because I can't go, you know. And in any case, I would have to see if the coach driver would put my little scooter on. I've got a little fold-up scooter. I'd have to see whether they would allow me to put the little scooter on the coach, because and say it's raining. What do I do all day if it's raining? You know, the coach will drop you off and then it picks you up when it wants to, doesn't it? It could be all day in Bury, which is lovely if it's a nice day. But there's only so many cafes you can visit. There's only so many cups of coffee you can drink, isn't there, you know? It's not so bad if you're going with someone else. At least you can have a chat, can't you? You know, when you're going round. But when you're going round on your own, you know. I'm going to try to do a little bit more knitting on my knitting, but I don't know. I'm not successful at the moment with anything because that finger is just so cold and dead. I'm kind of raring to go. I bought more patterns. At least I haven't bought any more wool. And I have actually ordered some buttons to go on this, the jacket I'm making. Because it wants 11 buttons, and I knew I didn't have 11 buttons in the shed. Well, not 11 buttons in like those. So I've ordered 11 like brass buttons like that, yeah. Hi, Nathan. Has anybody seen Chris? He was missing last week. Anybody seen him on? You know, you get worried when you don't see people, don't you? Has anybody else seen Chris on any other channels? Anybody? I know Chris does visit quite a few channels, doesn't he? Oh, look, spaghetti. Oh, my giddy aunt. Spaghetti Junction. Oh, dearie me, what is going on here? Ugh. This is just putting me right off my stride, this. What has happened here? It's all in my bag. All come out off the ball. Oh, Lord above. I'm knitting 2 strands together, so it's all come off in the bag. I've done the back and I've done one front. I know it looks small, but it's got to be blocked out. And it's also got a big wide band on it. So, yes, I know it looks like it won't fit, but I'm hoping it will. And I've done the pocket for the other side. So now I've got to find out A, where I'm up to, and B, where the heck this wool's going. So has nobody seen Chris then? Nobody's seen him? He usually comes on other people's lives, doesn't he? I get worried when I don't see him. I know he's not moving house yet. What have I done here? Why have I knitted all the way? Oh no, I've just cast it on, I think. I haven't knitted anything. Yeah, maybe I am just winding my wool back here. Maybe that will be my thing today. All I did was cast on and then I must have stopped. But I must have wound the wool out of the ball as if I was going to start knitting. I'm so slow with knitting. It's not like me to knit so slowly. But at least I'm getting a bit done, aren't I? Which is better than nothing, isn't it, really? I'm so used to going clickety, 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 knitting so fast that I feel like a beginner, you know, starting off again. Like knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1. I think this is why it's, angering me, because I'm so slow, and crocheting is even worse. I did sew the buttons on that navy blue one I was doing, but I still haven't finished the sleeves. And the baby cardigan I was making, I can't do here because the back has got 5 different colours going across it. So I'd have to have 5 balls all the way across here, getting in a terrible mess. I used to have a table that used to go across my recliner when I lived on my own, a bit like a hospital table. And it was great when I was knitting colours because I used to have them all spread out in front of me. And then, of course, when you do the purl roll, you just turn them all around and get them to go the other way. But when you don't have that and you're knitting with your wool on your knee here, it just gets into a tangle. Hi, Connie. Maybe while I'm knitting the back, I should go into the dining room because it's lovely and warm in the dining room, actually. I should sit in the dining room at the table while I at least get it started. The back of the baby cardigan. That's why I started with the front, because the front's only got 2 colours to use at once. But we shall see what we shall see. I think I'm doing it one purl, one is the beginning of my row. I forgot. Yeah, it is. It is, it is, it is. So what's everybody else up to today? What you all doing today? Cleveland's was absolutely rammed with people. Bit of sun and everybody comes out. Even the ice cream cart was there doing a bomb. Everybody on the seafront were licking cornets and that. She must have been doing a bombing trade. You're knitting a cowl. Ooh. I've yet to discover how you actually wear a cowl. I don't like them when they droop down here. I don't like them when they're too tight around my neck. I'd rather have like a scarf that wraps over, a short scarf that wraps over and fastens with buttons. Yeah. I don't know why I'm a rubbish with. Other people seem to work gorgeously with. Yeah. You're crocheting a cowl as well. Hi, Val. Welcome to my world, Mimi. I go off script all the time. I read a pattern and I think, that's not right. You're knitting the woolly waffle sweater pattern. That sounds interesting. Waffles. Val has been making a bag out of jeans, different coloured jeans. It looks really, really nice. She's so clever, You're knitting the crown piece of a Persian fold. That sounds interesting. Has it got different colours? Oh, excuse me. The tea's coming back to greet me. Has it got different colours in a Persian folk hat? Is it colourful? Or is it just different stitches? Is it different stitches, that make up a pattern or something? I'm not well up with a Persian folk hat. You'll have to describe it. Oh. My hand hurts already and I've only done a row and a half. I'll be so glad when I get this operation done. It's another 4 weeks. Yeah, 4 weeks. 4 more weeks, yeah. You could embroider it. Oh, you're posh if you can embroider. My aunt spent hours and hours trying to teach me how to embroider. And I can remember I did a crinoline lady on one corner of a tablecloth. And when I got married, she finished the other 3 corners and gave it to me as a wedding present. And my ex-husband was like, what the heck's that? We're not having that on the table. And I couldn't see which one I'd done, actually, because I must have been quite good at it. I couldn't see which corner I'd embroidered. But I only did the one corner. And obviously there's 4 corners on the tablecloth. I kept it for such a long time, but I'm so mad with myself that I got rid of. My son was like, get rid of this, you don't need this, you don't need that, and everything that I treasured, you know, even my mum's tablecloth that she'd been given when she got married, all went. And I wouldn't have minded if the charity shops had been open, you know, and I could have given them and somebody else could have, you know, used them. But no, the charity shops were all closed because of that blessed COVID. So everything kind of went to landfill, which broke my heart. All my sweaters and stuff went to landfill. All other dresses and stuff, landfill. You know, anything that could have been used by other people because it was all good stuff. Yeah. You keep getting kicked off. Oh dear, Diane, that's not good, is it? Must be your connection. Sorry about that. For once, it's not me that's kicking you off. For once. If you're still here, Diane, I did write you a comment saying, where was the Butterworth Hospital? Perhaps you can answer that if you get kicked off the live, yeah? Oh, dear. Hey, Val, I went down to Cleveland's and I actually got a top and a pashmina and a scarf from a shop, from a charity shop. First time I bought anything, I think. Oh, no, I bought a scarf once. No clothes, really. But I did get this sort of, it's like a long sleeve t-shirt I got. I'll put it on my other video if you want to see what I bought. The one I made this afternoon. Oh, I'm actually warming up now. I might have to take the shawl off now. I just went all shivery. Oh. That's my vintage shawl. It's been all around the world with me. Everywhere I've been, I took it with me. Yeah, it's kind of like a sagey turquoise in real life. It doesn't show up too well on the video. But I thought it's quite a nice colour, you know, to go with things. And it was in good condition. I'm sure it's new. It didn't have the label on it, but I'm sure it's new. You can tell when somebody's worn it, can't you? It's kind of stretched a bit or whatever. This one hasn't been. It just looks like it's come off the rack, you know. So I thought, well, £4.50 was more than what I wanted to spend for it. But, you know, if it's new, yeah. But the shawls, the pashmina and the scarf, I'm really pleased with at £2 each. The pashmina's lost a few pearls here and there. But it's not noticeable when you're wearing it, is it? You've got a couple of pearls missing off it. Perhaps the lady who gave it away thought it was a big deal. Oh dear, I'm missing 2 pearls, yeah. But to be honest with you, unless I said to you there's 2 pearls missing, I don't think you would ever notice. As my mum used to say, if they're standing that close, they're being blinking nosy, yeah. When I used to say, oh, will anybody notice? You know, if I had a thread missing or a seam that was broken by about an inch or something, will anybody notice, Mum, if I'm wearing them? She said, they're standing that close to you, they're blooming nosy. Well, my dad's saying used to be a blimey on a galloping horse. I'll never see that, Jan. So, you know, or Janet. They never call me Jan. My mum refused to call me Jan. It was always Janet. Or if I was naughty, it was Janet Elizabeth or Lady Jane. Her favourite thing was, and who do you think you are, Lady Jane? If she thought I got a bit above myself, a bit uppity, as she used to call it. It was like, who do you think you are, Lady Jane? Oh, you're not too big for a smack. Saying that to a teenager, you know, I was bigger than my mum. She was only tiny. You're not too big for a smack. Think on. Not that, you know, I mean, if your mum had smacked you little as she was, like, you know, you wouldn't have smacked her back, would you? You know, different generation, different time, you know. You had respect, didn't you, for your parents? I dare say today's generation, if you give one of them a thumb. Oh, yeah, thumbs up. There's 31 people in and I've only got 18 thumbs. Just a hint. Would you believe I've had to order some ingrowing, well, it's not an ingrowing toenail, actually. It's an ingrowing thumb nail. I've had to order it online because Boots is the chemist haven't sold it for 2 or 3 years, they said. There's no call for it. Do people not have ingrowing toenails anymore? Anyway, I've ordered it online. Wait, she said, oh, just soak it in hot water. I said, I've tried that. It doesn't work. And every time I touch anything with the end of my thumb, it hurts. Never had an ingrowing fingernail before. Thumbnail before. I am taking my mittens off, girls and boys. Getting hot now. It was cold before. Getting hot now. So are you making us all those bags for Christmas, Val? Nothing like being cheeky, is there? She's been cutting strips out of denim and sewing them all together, and they're all different colours, and she's made like a kind of, is it a shopping bag or kind of like a large handbag? Yeah, not quite sure. I've only seen a photo. I haven't seen it in real life yet. No doubt I will see it in real life on. You made another one. Oh, is that mine? You get nowhere if you're not cheeky, do you? That one for me? Or is it for Sue? Yeah. Oh, gosh, look at this. Barfy. I know I'm cheeky. My mother used to say I was cheeky, full of cheek. You get nowhere if you're not cheeky, Val, do you? You know what I mean? You know I'm shy and retiring in real life. I was the quietest little girl when I was little. I was so shy. Anybody came to the house, I used to hide under the table. You wouldn't think it, would you now? Even at school, I was so shy. But now, I didn't come out my shell really till after my marriage ended, really, I think. That's when I decided I could be what I wanted to be and do what I wanted to do, you know. Before I was married, I was like under the influence of my parents, if you're with me. And then, of course, when I was married, he ruled the roost, you know. More ways than one, we won't go into that. So when I finally was on my own, you know, I thought, hey, there's a new world out here, there's a different life, you know. I think that's when I came into my own, yeah. And became this lovely, sophisticated, cheeky woman that I am now. I missed so much when I was younger. I wish I'd have been more outgoing. Perhaps I would have gone to university if I'd have been more outgoing, if I'd have had enough courage to branch out on my own, be one of the people who left home and quite happily left home. I didn't. I didn't leave home till I got married. And I swapped one cage for another. Still water under the bridge now. Right, I know I've got to increase. So I increased at the beginning of the row, so I think I've got to increase at the end of this row because I'm doing the opposite front. Yeah. So I need to read my pattern. Somebody used to say that. I used to watch somebody do a video and they always said a pattern. I think it was DOY Creations. Pattern. I don't mean Patreon, I mean it was the pattern. It's like when people say a film. I used to think that was Irish when people said that, a film instead of a film. I'm going to the film. Oh, I've done 4 rows. Woohoo, woohoo. Make sure I've got the right number of stitches on before we go any further. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 28, 30, 33. Right, read of the pattern, it does help. I am actually more or less sticking to the pattern with this one. You'll never believe that. If you know me well enough, you never believe it. This would confuse any new knitters because they want everything spelling out. This is an old pattern. Work everything as the left front, reversing all your side increases, reversing the insertion of the pocket. That would totally confuse our new knitters that want everything spelling out for them. Work 1 more row to side edge to armhole shaping and then complete as the left front, reversing all shapings. So that's your right front instructions. Is that bit there? Luckily I understand, nobody else. I can tell you nobody else probably would. Right, let's have a look. Right. Increase 1 stitch at the beginning of the 7th and every following 6th row until you've got 37 stitches. There we go. And I've not got my little doodah, have I? My little frog, you know, my little... Because I can't count to 6 while I'm talking to you, that's it. It's a row counter, but I always think it looks like a frog for some reason or another. Maybe because it's green. Maybe it's because it looks like Kermit, yeah. Turn it all to knot. Can't do it with a thumb. Have to do it with this finger. Everybody's gone quiet. What, you all gone? Have you all disappeared? Where have you all gone? You gone making your tea? Or has everything frozen? Nobody's spoken since Val said something. Oh, it's all gone quiet over there. Oh, it's all gone quiet over there. Oh, it's all gone quiet. I hate it when it goes quiet. Hiya, Mimi. Thank you for speaking to me. I was feeling like belling all mates. I'll let you off if you count the stitches, Christine. I'll let you off. I hate it when it goes quiet because if nobody puts anything in the comments, then I've got nothing to speak. You're still here, are you, Connie? Yeah. Something went weird. Was it me? Did I go weird? Or did the channel go weird? And boo to you, crafting it so. Boo. No, it's funny, when nobody writes a comment, I sort of dry up. I run out of things to say. When people speak to me, then you had to reload, yeah. Always telling me my keyboard's going to go dead in a minute. Hang on. That's right. Sorted. Have you had a tick that you're present, Miss Denise? Do you remember we had to do that at school? We used to shout your name. The dogs have gone away. Sadly, they're coming back tomorrow. They didn't go till lunchtime. I said to my son, have you not gone yet? He said, you're trying to get rid of us for some reason. I said, no. I said, but if I was going away for the day and the day, I'd be gone by morning. I'd have packed my camper van up last night. I'd be gone by this morning. But they fiffed and faffed about. They didn't go till after lunch. I mean, to me, that's hardly worth going because they're going to come back tomorrow. You know, if I was going for the weekend, I'd want to be, you know, like I say, gone by the morning. And it's been a gorgeous day. You know, they could have they've took their hiking boots with them. They could have gone everywhere with the dogs. You know, gone for where I don't know where they've gone to, but they could have gone for a lovely walk with the dogs, yeah. But to just go, you know, sort of for an afternoon and an evening, it doesn't seem worth it, does it really? I presume they'll be back by tea time. I bought myself a nice salad and some lovely, a 3-bean salad and a crunchy salad. So if they don't come back, I'm going to see if there's a tin of salmon or something in the cupboard. If not, I'll go to the shop, get a tin of salmon. I don't mind a salad. I like a salad. Or I could have an egg salad, I suppose, yeah. And I've got some chicken. Or was it turkey I bought? Yeah, so I'm quite happy whatever. If they don't come back till tea time, I'm quite happy. I've got enough for my tea. I love a nice salad. I haven't got the fire lit, no, Munchkin, because I was out all afternoon. By the time I got back in, I was a little bit tired, and then I made a video. And by the time I'd done that, it was time to make me tea. So I didn't light the fire, so I just put the heating on. We're still arguing about that bill. I don't understand the way they work our bills out. We use roughly the same amount of electricity and gas each month. Last month it was 137. This month it was 1,000 and something. We're like, what? My son reads the meter every month and sends the readings off every month because our smart meter doesn't talk to our provider. We didn't have the smart meter put in. It was in the house when we moved in. And so he went, that's not right. So they sent us another bill, 500. And he said, that's still not right. He said, how can it be 137 last month and you want 500 this month? He said, it's not right. Get it sorted. It's not that we're not paying it, but we're just not paying £500 when it's the same as last month. We have not had all the lights blazing. We have not had all the gas burning. We've not had the central heating on any more than it was on because normally we don't use it because we have the gas, the fire in here, and they've got their own source of heat upstairs, yeah? So I don't normally put the central heating on. I put it on today, but only like at 6 o'clock it went on. And I'll turn it off when I go to bed, yeah. So I just got a bit chilly. That's why I had my shawl on, because I love a good salad. Marks and Spencer's do the nicest salads ever. I don't like a salad if it's just lettuce and tomatoes and that. Oh, stop it, phone. There's definitely a problem with this meter, this smart meter. I think we've got the dumb meter. They did tell us when we changed the electricity supplier that it didn't talk. Our meter didn't talk to them. So this is why my son every month goes in the garage, reads them and sends them off. I've got a from Crochet Rocks. She likes my comment. That's nice. That's nice when I got one from Sheila as well. Got thumbs up from Sheila. Woohoo. The height of fame. Ah. If you don't know who Sheila is, you should do. Sheila's Knit and Natter, is it? Or Knit and something. Somebody will tell me what it's called. Knitting tips and something. She's finished her cardigan. Looks very nice. She knits baby cardigans like they're going out of fashion. I couldn't keep up with the fastness that she knits. I couldn't. Not even when I was crocheting. Oh, this, by the way, is the Doris Chan everyday crochet book sweater. But I can't tell you what the wool is because it's so old. I can't remember. It was obviously something pretty thick because it's actually thicker than double knitting. So I probably made a smaller size if I remember rightly because it was coming up bigger. I can remember making it, but I can't remember what the wool was. It's probably in one of my videos way back, but I'm not going to search for it. Yeah, I never had a smart meter at my other house. I wouldn't have one put in. They came and tried to make me have one. And when they came in the house, they went, "Oh, your meter is so old. You need to have a different meter." I said, "Do I?" I said, "Are you going to put me one in?" "Oh, no, you'll have to get an electrician to put one in." I said, "And how much will that cost?" He said, "About £500 or £600. I said, "No, then don't bother." I said, "I'm quite happy with my old meter." So every time they used to ring me up, "You need to have the smart meter put in," I used to say, "Oh, really? Look it up. Your engineers can't put me one in unless I pay £500 or £600 to have a new electric meter put in. Electric board, what do you call it? You know, your board where all your fuses are." Oh, right. I said, "So if you put me one of them in for free, then I'll have a smart meter." "Oh, no, we can't do that. We can't do that. You have to get an electrician in and have it done yourself." I said, "Well, I'm on a pension." I said, "I'm sorry, I don't have a spare £500, £600. So they left me alone after that. So every time they used to ring me up for the smart meter, I used to say, "By all means, send somebody around," but they can't do it. Oh, right, okay. But this meter here, it was put in when the people here had a different supplier. Hiya, Chris, I was just saying, where were you? You was missed last week. We were all worried about you. Just hoping you were okay. I was just asking everybody before you came in. I said, "Has anybody seen Chris on any of the lives?" You were like a missing link. Nice to be missed, isn't it, Chris? Better than being ignored. When you don't go somewhere and nobody knows you've not been, it's not, is it? Yeah. You've been a busy bee. Well, we'll let you off if you've been a busy bee. Just as long as you've not been poorly or anything. That's all we were worried about, in case you were ill or something. That's always the worry when people are missing, is you thinking, "Oh my God, are they poorly? Are they ill? Are they what? Are they this?" All of my friends have been going down like flies. They've all been poorly. And I've not been good myself. So it's like, it's that time of year, isn't it? Again. Oh, God. I know my friend was she's been diagnosed with pneumonia, but she was like testing herself because she thought she might have COVID. And unfortunately, it's not. But she doesn't know where she got this pneumonia from. I mean, she takes the dog on the beach. Mind you can't let the dog in the water at the moment because we've had another sewage outage. Thank you, Blackpool. You pay all this money to water rates, and every now and again they have it hasn't even been raining hard, I wouldn't mind. It's been raining, but not that hard. They have to Every time it overflows, they have to shove it all in the sea. And that means like the poor little animals can't go in, the dogs and that, because they get E. coli. These people who go swimming every day of the year or something, I wouldn't want to even dip my toes in that lot. It's disgusting, isn't it? Somebody said to my friend, "What colour's the sea here?" She said, "Brown." Everybody else has blue sea, green sea. We have brown. But it's a shame because it's like a holiday resort, Blackpool. I had my pneumonia shot, but touch wood, I don't know whether. I must ask Kim if she had hers. I don't know whether she had hers. The pneumonia shot. Because they do say they don't inject you with live vaccine, do they? It's like people who said they got COVID after the COVID injection. I was ill after I had the double injection, the flu and the COVID. That's why I won't have the COVID again. But I didn't get COVID. I just was ill, yeah. You don't want any new pneumonies, no. My dad used to call it new mumbies. I think I've got new mumby. Those keyboards. You remind me of my friend B. She always says her eyesight's terrible and she uses her phone. She doesn't have a keyboard kind of thing. And she's always saying, these little things on the phone are too small. I keep hitting them. I always say I've got dyslexic fingers. They don't type what I'm thinking, And predictive text. I mean, you get yourself in trouble, don't you? Predictive text. You type in something you don't intend. Somebody could take offence, couldn't they? You know what I mean? If it changes a word and it makes the whole sentence into something not very nice. You have to sort of check everything before you press send, If you press send and you haven't read it through again. Oh, it's an on-screen keyboard, is it? Yeah. Yeah, one of my friends, she uses like her phone, and her eyesight isn't tremendous. She needs to get better glasses, really. But like everything else these days, it's blinking money, isn't it? Money to get your eyes tested, money to get new glasses. When we're all rich, you have to type in your email. Oh. Mine carries on going. When I put at yahoo.com, it changes into spaceship something or other, and I'm like, what? Why should it be fullbodiedwoman at spaceship.com or something? It changes it to. Why? Why do they have to predictive text me email? Yeah, mine, it's always got spaceship. It changes the at your yahoo.com into at spaceship.com. And if I don't realise, I'm like, what? But predictive text, I mean, it's handy if you spelt something wrong and it tells you. If you put the I before the E or the E before the I or something like that, and it tells you you've done that wrong. I don't mind that, but I don't want it changing, something normal into something peculiar, And you read it back and you think, I didn't say that, As I say, it could get you into trouble, couldn't it, if it changes it into something really rude? Luckily, that's not happened to me yet, but time will tell. Time will tell. I wonder if it'll be warm tomorrow. Maybe I'll be able to get into the shed. But it won't be, because our weather, you can have a gorgeous day one day and you think, right, this is it. Start of spring. And tomorrow it could be torrential rain and freezing cold. Yeah, it could be. Oh dear. Plus I've got what's the Amazon man bringing me tomorrow? He brought me some socks today and some new goggles, some goggles for me scooter he brought me today. What's he bringing me tomorrow? Can't remember. It's something and nothing he's bringing me tomorrow. Oh, me ingrowing toenail. That's what he's bringing me tomorrow because they didn't have it at Boots's chemist. How can they not have any call for ingrowing toenail? We've not had any of that for 2 or 3 years now. Shall still do it. That's what I've ordered. So maybe my ingrowing fingernail will be all right tomorrow. I want it curing before they wrap it up when I've had my operation. Then I won't be able to get at it, will I? Because it'll be bandaged up. Yeah, that's what he's bringing me tomorrow. He's bringing me 2 things. What else is he bringing me? Oh, I can't remember. I'm sure I order things when I'm asleep or half asleep. Because my buttons are coming from eBay, so they won't come for about a week. Might take me another week to finish this cardigan. But I needed 11 buttons, so I just ordered them from eBay. They're nothing posh, they're just ordinary metal buttons, yeah. I have all sorts of buttons in the shed, so I could probably have found 6 or maybe 8 buttons, but I'm sure I would never have found 11. Although I do have a healthy store of buttons, actually. I used to order loads and loads of them. They used to come from China, but they don't seem to be around anymore now. And there was a really good button place I used to order from. And she was really good. She used to give you free gifts and everything. But I haven't seen her for a while. And of course, I've lost her number, haven't I? Lost her address. I used to get little animal buttons and little butterflies and all sorts of things from her. And they were really, really pretty. If you ordered a load, she'd send you a packet of free buttons, quite a lot of buttons. She'd send you a packet of free ones. As I say, I used to order loads of buttons from China, the kind of ones that look like mother of pearl. And I used to order the wooden ones and that. You used to get a bucket full, didn't you, for about 25p. That used to come from China. You'd have to wait about 3 or 4 weeks for them to come. Oh, I got an email off that site I don't like, the one that begins with a T. Did I want to do a collaboration with them to do a YouTube video? I said, no, thank you. Why should I give them free adverts just for a bit of their tat? No, thanks. Yeah, I'm holding 2 together and I'm getting in a mess here. I know loads of people have done them, haven't they, these? Oh, I've bought this from T. I bought that from T. But, you're saving them thousands of pounds by doing their advertising for them. Just for a pile of tat that you could get better stuff off Amazon, to be quite truthful. Nearly everything I bought from them was finished up in the bin, or it's bent and it's twisted. I bought some of these nail file things. The first time I used them, all the grit wore off them. And they're just like I don't know if you can see it, there's no grit left. First time I used them, so they're no good as a nail file now. First time I used them. So you only get what you paid for. I'd rather pay more and get something decent, Still, Nothing is made in Great Britain these days. That's a sad thing, isn't it? You know, you try, don't you? Yeah. Yes, I tried one ball of it. What a pile of, yeah. SH1T. It was absolutely rubbish. I don't know how people can say, oh, it's lovely. It's the same price as it is in the UK. And you get a better quality. I'm sorry, but you do. You know, something like that, which is really nice, soft acrylic, probably just over £2 a ball. You can pay £1.50 odd for the tiniest little ball that you've ever seen in the world. And it's rubbish. It's absolutely awful. Yeah, I've tried 2 or 3 of them. I just thought I'd buy an odd 2 or 3 to see what it's like. Nah. I would not recommend anybody to buy it. Yeah, well, they recruit you in, don't they? As I say, they've reached out to me, would I do a video? I said, no, I won't. So you won't see me with a haul. Now, if somebody, you know, like ice yarn or hobby or hobium or, you know, some Serdar, you know, Stylecraft, if they wanted me to do a video, I'd do one with them, yeah. I wouldn't bother, Connie. I wouldn't rush. The only thing that I bought from them that was any use was some blocking pins. And they were about £6 something, and I could have bought them off Amazon for the same price. So I can't say they were any cheaper. They weren't. Yeah. Oh, my friend thinks they're wonderful. She buys all sorts. Oh, they're wonderful. Oh, they're great. Oh, God, ice yarn. Do you know, all the time I ordered from ice yarn, and I used to recommend them, and I used to do my videos recommending them, and loads of people bought off them just for my say-so. Did I get one ball of wool off them? No. Never got nothing. Not a ball. Nothing. Not. Thank you very much. I mean, me and Sue used to do joint orders, you know, to save on the postage. We put a joint order in and we divide the postage up between us. But then there wasn't all this VAT nonsense and all this, what do you call it? Import duty. Can't order it anymore. People have said to me, are you selling your ice yarn in the shed? I'm like, no, because I can't order anymore. Can't get it anymore. I could, but I don't want to pay over the odds for it. It's a shame because I used to love ice yarns, as you know. People say, oh, you can buy it on eBay. Yeah, you can buy the stuff that people don't want. They bought it and then they put it on eBay because they don't like it. Yeah, you can buy the awful stuff because I put my awful stuff on there and sold it. All the stuff that I bought and thought, what the heck's this? Because, you know, even with ice, I used to buy a pup every now and again, you know. We bought some Lurex one time. Honest to God, it was like a Brillo pad. You could have scoured your pans with it. Sue and I were in hysterics when it arrived. You could never have made a garment with it. It would have cut you to ribbons. I either gave it away. I don't think I wanted to sell it because it was so bad. I couldn't have, all in honesty, put it on eBay and sold it because I thought, oh my God, what will people think when it arrives? I gave it to somebody and she said, oh, it's so rough. What do you expect me to do? I said, crochet a dishcloth or a scrubber with it. A scrubby. Most of the wool I got from them was fine. I'm still using a lot of it up. I've never been lucky really with Primark, Aldi yarn either. Some of it's been all right, but I got some. It was supposed to be like sock yarn. God, it was awful. But Right, that was my 7th row. I was supposed to increase. Where was I supposed to increase? Not at the beginning, because that's where the right. This is the left. I'll increase on this next row. Yeah, I shall. As I say, I'm sad to lose it, but you've got to be realistic, you know, that when you're paying a lot more for stuff. Maybe if you were doing a very, very big order, you know, say 2 or 3 of you joined together and you paid between you. Well, they've got some new in, I believe, on the 25th. That's tomorrow, is it? Yeah. Sunday, they've got some new in. And I believe they've got, you know, I watch Crochet Rocks. She went to Poundland and they've got some nice yarn in, I believe. But another lady, no, she went to another Poundland and they didn't have any at all. I think it depends on which branch you go into, yeah. Hi, Yolanda. I'm trying not to. I've got enough. And as you know, at the moment, I can't knit very well or crochet, so I'm not using anything up. So I can't, in all honesty, you know, go and buy any more. We all love new yarn. I would love to get some new yarn. It's kind of exciting, isn't it, when you get new yarn? But I'm trying to be good. Trying to say no. I'll have to buy some more logs for the fire. I really need to order a passport, although I don't think I'm going anyway. So that's about £90 for a passport. It'll be 120 for logs, you know. Buying new wool is not really on the agenda at the moment. I did win a lucky dip on the lottery, and I did win £5. But that exactly won't get me anywhere, will it? Won't get me a new house in the Bahamas, will it? Oh, I've lost a thread. That's the trouble when you're knitting with 2 strands together, you drop a thread. You finish up with only 1 thread. I've only got 1 thread on the row below. That's better. Picked it up. No, I haven't bought any Aldi. No, I haven't picked it up because that one's not done either. Oh, what was I thinking of on the row before? Only knitting with 1 thread. Oh, thanks. I don't know what the wool is, Yolanda. I know it's from the Doris Chan Everyday Crochet book, but that's about all I can tell you. I cannot remember what the wool is for the life of me. I should have one of those project books. I should be organised, shouldn't I, and write things down. But of course, that's too organised for this Janet, you know. She doesn't think of things like that, yeah. Right, seeing as I forgot to increase on that row, I have to increase on this row. Oh, I did increase on that row. I did increase. I'm such a dumbo. Such a dummy. Ah, Look at this mess. It's the only problem with knitting with 2 strands together. I've discovered that 2 strands together of double knitting goes a lot further than 1 ball of chunky. Well, it would be 2 balls of chunky, wouldn't it? But 2 double knits held together goes farther than 2 balls of chunky. That I have discovered. Because I didn't have any chunky in this winter white, and I was not buying any, as you know. I'm on a no buy. I've done quite well. I bought some yarn before Christmas because I bought yarn for that jacket I made for my daughter-in-law. But since then, I don't think I've bought anything. What is going on with this wool? It's getting in a mess here, I know this much. Oh dear. Why can it not be easy? Well, she will never get so knitted in a knot. I bet she's really organised. Right, so that's that bit. Oh. Needle. That's that bit done. But he's still getting in a knot. Oh. Don't you just hate it when you get yarn bath? This isn't yarn bath, she's just all twisted. You're on the brink of tossing yours across the room. I think I've got a little bit more patience than that, Mimi. I think I've sussed mine out. Yep. I think mine's on the brink of being right. Uh-huh. Two together is bad enough. I did used to crochet 3 and 4 together at one time. I knit 3 and 4 together because I was using up my machine cones, which, as you know, are very, very fine. So I've got 2 or 3, well, I think I've got 2 left now, sweaters that are used 3 or 4. But the thing with cones is it tends to run off the cone a lot better than off a ball because you don't get in such a knot with a cone. I've still got 3 cones in the shed. Was it 3 or 4? I crocheted a lovely cardigan, if you remember, in like an aubergine colour in 4-ply. It took me ages to crochet. But it's so nice, and it's nice and fine for summer. She said laughingly, summer. So I've got a mustard colour, I think. I've got a dark pink. I think I've got a turquoisey green as well. Can't remember what I bought now. I really do need to go in that shed and sort out. When I had a lot less yarn, many years ago, I used to have an inventory. I used to have it all listed down, everything I had, you know, that was in 4-ply, that was in double knit, that was in 3-ply. But now, you know, I've just got so much, it's just ridiculous. And white cotton. I think I have enough white cotton to make myself enough sweaters to last me a lifetime. But I can't do that thing, is it? She called Maria Kondo, where it says, feel it in your hand, and if you don't feel it, it kind of, you can let it go. I can't. I did last year. I let quite a bit of it go. But now I'm like, no, I can't. I just want to keep it. It still talks to me. My yarn. It still says, this would make a lovely sweater. This would make a lovely top. My friend in Scotland suggested that I use my Addy machine, while I can't knit so much and that. But to be quite honest, I've only ever made a hat or hats, and they didn't turn out all that well because, like, the Addy machine is geared to American 4 yarn. It's not geared. Oh, I get inspired by all of the yarn I love to sit out there and just look at it, really, but it's too cold. I get inspiration when I'm out there because my patterns are all out. Well, most of my patterns are out there. So I do get inspired. But at the moment, it's too flipping cold. Oh, God, now this wool's not coming out the middle. It's going to come out in a lump. I don't want it to come out in a lump because I'm trying to keep this level with that. I miss, looking at certain shops and going into town where they had things on display, looking at the fashions and stuff. There's no fashion here in Fleetwood. No fashion in Cleveland. I miss, the big stores, the inspirational, expensive stores that you go to and look at and you go, oh, wow, that's gorgeous. You would never buy it because you can't afford it, but I get inspired by all the different colours and the designs and things like that. But being here, I have no inspiration whatsoever. I try looking on Pinterest, but they're always made by people in European countries that are fantastic crocheters, that crochet in spider thin wool. And then you find something on Pinterest, there's never a pattern anyway, is there? That's 4. That's 8. No, 4. Hang on a minute. I had to do 7. 7. That's another 4. And I've been buying the crochet magazines, but to be quite truthful, I've not liked anything really in the latest ones I've bought. They've all been very much of a muchness. If you don't like amigurumis and you don't like blankets and wall hangings, you kind of out of it, really. It tickles me when they say stash busters, and it's something that needs a minuscule amount of wool. And you're like, that's not much of a stash buster. That wouldn't bust anybody's stash. I'm using a row counter and I've gone wrong. How can you use a row counter and go wrong? And this is one thing with this pattern I don't like. She doesn't give you, or they don't give you, I should say, it could be a guy who's designed it. They don't give you the row gauge. They only give you the stitches gauge. So as this is all worked by stitches and rows, you can't tell if you're off kilter or not. So if you do happen to go wrong with your counting, it does throw you completely off. You know, you're not doing it by, and it's so many inches up to the arm or anything like that, isn't it? So many rows, and like you say, if your gauge is off, you don't know whether you're right or wrong. Oh, it's all going to come out in a bath, and I don't want another bath. I've just sorted one lot out. Oh. Knitting two balls together has its limitations, I've decided. Isn't it quiet without the dogs? It's beautiful without the dogs, isn't it? I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't mind the dogs, but they're not my favourite people in the world. My dog and my little chihuahua, oh God, I love them to death. But these, I mean, Rosie, yeah, but the other one I can't take to her. And I know it sounds awful, but I'd never harm her, don't get me wrong, but she's just a pain in the neck. 4, 7. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, hello, next daughter having a fun. They've got teenagers and they tend to be a little noisy sometimes. Don't get me wrong, they are no bother. We never hear them 9/10 of the time. But sometimes when it gets this time of night, you know, they're slamming car doors and going, hello, goodbye, 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 hello, goodbye. Not as bad as where I used to live before. That was the one drawback with where I used to live before. I used to swear that everybody had 16 car doors. Because when they were dropping anybody off, all the car doors used to be going. Hi, Jill. So I used to swear blindly had about 16 doors on each car. You know, when they're going, hello, goodbye, goodbye, hello, goodbye. Yeah, they're shouting to each other. She called it Pitter. Was it Pitter Patter? The cat. My friend had a cat called Sifa and a dog called Deefa. Sifa cat, Deefa dog. I said, you can't call them that. She went, yeah. We've actually had a warm day here today. Well, warmish. Not warm by anybody in America's standards. We're talking warm for the English standards here, yeah. I was just telling Chris we missed him last week, yeah. Oh, Peter for the pain and the, yeah. I thought you meant pitter patter. Yeah, C for cat, Sifa and D for. You've got a new calf. Whee! Is it a little girl calf or a little boy calf? Or have you not had a loot yet? Looks like a boy. You haven't been up, well, you can't go near a new mum, can you? Not too close. Not that I know much about cows, but I think they get very defensive, don't they? And they've got a new baby. Sound as though I know about animals. I don't know much about cows at all. But I know a lot of mums in the wild, well, not wild, but you know what I mean. They get very defensive. If you go and look at the Grey Baby is the name Mr. Fiber's given. Well, that could do for either one, couldn't it? Girl or a boy, so. I don't mind cows. I'm just not that keen on getting too close to them. Horses frighten the living daylights out of me. My friend, the one who's had the pneumonia, she's a really horsey, or she was a horsey person until she's had all the problems with her back. Yeah. My mobility's been in jeopardy for a while. I've just been taking 2 more pills. Yeah. You got to let your dog out again. I don't have any dogs to let out tonight yet. And my coffee's gone cold, so I've gone off that. Put that over there. Oh, there's my Toby patterns flying. Oh dear. I'm going to have my Coca-Cola. My Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola. Well, it's roller cola. We call it roller cola here. Roller cola. There's a comedian called Peter Kay that you will know. Yeah, I'm struggling a bit, Joe. You'll know Peter Kay if you live in the UK. If you live in America, you probably never heard of him. But he calls, the cheap supermarket cola, he calls it roller cola. Well, it's not Coca-Cola. The stuff you buy for 19 pence a bottle, that stuff. Well, this is a bit like roller cola. It's ZX zero sugar. I think it's either oldie or Lidl. One of the two. One of the two. And I'm going to eat me. I've got Marks and Spencer's, aren't you all jealous? Lightly sea salted crisps, hand cooked. Does that mean the hand went down the conveyor belts as they were being cooked? Hand cooked. Who do they think they are fooling? I have to cut the top because I can't open it with my hands. I can't get anybody in this house to understand why I can't do things. My son's like, what's all here? What's all here? I said, do you have a dead hand? Do you think you could do it? They are lovely and crunchy. Can't beat M&S. You can't beat them. If you don't have a Marks and Spencer's in America, I feel sorry for you. They're very, very popular despite not being in the top 10 of the cheapest supermarkets ever. Apart from Harrods, they're probably one of the most expensive supermarkets ever. Look at that one. It's all puffed up. Puffed. Puff. My eBay sends me notifications because I look at dresses and things like that online. It keeps sending me American ones. Oh, mac and cheese. Don't talk to me about mac and cheese. I've been throwing up all week. That's the only thing I cannot understand why Americans love so much. Is mac and cheese. If you eat it, I'm sorry, but it tasted like sick to me. It tasted like somebody's thrown up on the macaroni. I swear Americans have a different palate because you love root beer, don't you? Ooh. It's like germaline, like antiseptic. It's absolutely vile. And Hershey's Kisses, eat. That has never seen chocolate in its life, that. You have that rubber cheese, don't you, though, in America? It tastes vile, doesn't it, Yolanda? Root beer. Ugh. But cheese doesn't look like cheese does in England. Cheese looks like rubber. If you go in Marks and Spencer's, there must be about 40 different kinds of cheese. And none of it looks like processed stuff. It all looks like it's been cut, you know, from a wheel of cheese. The only American cheese I've ever seen looks like it's processed. It looks like it's a slab or something or other. I can't understand. Why would you have macaroni and cheese at Christmas? Yeah, velvet. It looks like a slab, a square of like rubber. Our cheese is like crumbly stuff. It's like, yeah, the handmade stuff. Yeah, well, that's what our cheese is, even if it's wrapped up. What on earth is rotel? It sounds like something you kill. You kill roaches with. I don't like macaroni at all. I don't like any kind of pasta. Yeah, rotel sounds like a bug spray. What is rotel? Oh, canned tomatoes. See what I mean? If I was in America, I wouldn't know what to eat. Apparently it's tomatoes and green chilli. I'd be walking around the supermarket not knowing what the hell to buy if I came to America. I'd be like, why are your eggs white? Why is your chicken bleached? And those cakes that they sell, those massive, massive cakes. Who the heck buys them? They're huge. You know, happy birthday, and they're the size of a table. I give you a weird look. If you give me spaghetti with tomato sauce on it, I give you a weird look as well. I give you a weird look if you coat with spaghetti with anything. I'd say, no, I don't like it. Go away. I had a friend whose small son used to eat raw spaghetti, raw pasta. They wouldn't eat it cooked. They used to crunch it raw. Ugh. Oh, it was ketchup you got. Yeah, we wouldn't call it that in England. We would call it chopped tomatoes. Or is it pesto sauce or something? Puree, that's what I would say, talking about. It'd be tomato puree. Or it would be chopped tomatoes that you would need to put with spaghetti, I believe. Although I don't eat spaghetti, so. I used to occasionally eat, when I made it myself, like tuna pasta with this special sauce and then a load of cheese on it. I just bit my lip. When you're eating salted crisps, that's not a good idea, is it? Oh, that stung. Why does salt sting so much? When I was little, I used to have a load of mouth ulcers. Don't ask me why. My mum used to put salt on them. Oh, why did they sting? It used to work. They used to shrink like that when you put salt on them. It's like putting iodine. Oh. Mothers in my generation used to be a dab-am with iodine as well. You don't drink milk? God, I can't understand. Italians live on pastas, don't they? Everything's blooming pasta. It's a wonder they're not like house hens, isn't it? Why they're not fat. Oh, iodine was the worst. Oh, I used to hate going in with, like gravel graze. When you've slid down the road and you get a gravel graze. And your mother used to scrub it to make sure there were no tarmac in it, macadam. Then she'd swash it with this iodine and you talk about learn to yodel. The worst of all was, do you remember kaolin poultices? Where they used to put a tin of kaolin in a pan of hot water and it used to melt. And used to stick it on lint and put it on, if you had a boil or anything like that, slap it on. Oh, terrible it was. They still use iodine in operating theatres. It's that stuff they swash all over you before they cut you open. Like a brownie orange stuff. But luckily, when they do that before they cut you open, you don't feel it, do you? They put it on you after they cut you open, you'd be jumping off the theatre table. Why is it when you bite your lip, you keep on biting it? You know. You got to bite it once, haven't you, and you carry on. That makes it even sorer. Cheers. It might be cheap cola, but it's nice. I don't usually drink Coca-Cola. It's usually orange is mine. I've got an itchy back. I had an itchy back last night in the same place. I don't know whether it's my bra elastic that's digging in me or what. Oh, that's better. My back scratcher was on the other side of the room and I wouldn't get out of bed because it was cold. So I was laying there thinking, I'm so itchy, and I couldn't reach it with my hand. And it was driving me insane. Eventually I fell asleep. Tonight I'm going to put my back scratcher next to the bed, just in case it starts itching again. This desk is quite big according to our ear, but it's half the size of the desk I used to have when I lived on my own. So, look what I got. Lint Creation Dessert. They're all in foreign. Tiramisu, millefeuille, creme brulee, chocolate fondue, meringue, that's the white chocolate one, and caramel eclair. Ooh, shouldn't be having these. But I thought I'd treat myself. Treat myself to a chocky. To a chocky. I'll have a milk chocolate fondue. There we go. Look at that. Nice, isn't it? Ooh. I'll have to hide those from myself as much as anybody else. Oh, I've got an itch. I've not had this itch all day, but it suddenly started itching me now. It's the same itch I had last night. No, it's not a flea. We have our dogs flea checked. I've got to remember my cat got fleas. Oh, Lord. Took forever to get rid of them. And you have to spray the whole house and everything, don't you? You're crocheting a wrap, Jill. It's a wrap. I'm bad at crocheting anything big at the minute. Why, my hand. It's not been as bad today. I think it's because it's warmer. We've had a bit of sunshine. So I think that's what it's been. When it's cold, it's really, really cold. I have to sleep in my mittens. Well, a mitten. I have to sleep in a mitten because my hand gets so freezing in the middle of the night. I've got my strap on. done on the bias. My friend at Knit Club made a lovely scarf. It was like a V shape. It was kind of all done with increases and decreases, obviously. It was a bit like the ripple stitch, but bigger. It just went down in one V, like a whole scarf. And because she was doing it in like a random yarn, it looked really pretty because instead of the random like being in straight lines like that, obviously it was going down like that. And it did look pretty. She said it was dead easy to do as well. I suppose you increase at each end, don't you, and decrease in the middle. A bit like ripple, only bigger. I've done ripple blankets, yeah. I have to watch myself with ripple blankets, otherwise I go wrong and you find you've not increased or you've not decreased and your zigzag goes all up the wall, doesn't it? You're knitting a hat with King Cole Chunky. I've got some beautiful, I think it's super chunky in the shed. It's merino in purple that I got given as a Secret Santa gift about 3 years back. Meaning to knit myself a hat with it, and I haven't done it yet. And I keep saying, I knew when I put it in the shed that was a mistake. Once it goes in the shed, it goes there to die, if you know what I mean. But I haven't got much space in the house to have much wool in here. I only have really in here what I'm actually working on. Plus the oddments in the cupboard behind me. The part balls and that. I hate those part balls. That's why I've been trying to make that baby cardigan in all different bits and pieces, trying to get rid of some part balls. It's only really granny squares and things like that you can do with part balls, isn't there? Headbands, hats, baby hats and things. So if they're not the right colours, then. Tell me about it. I've got a shed full of finished items I'm trying to get rid of. Because I don't use Etsy anymore, and because I don't have a web page, I'm running out of places to put things to sell, I mean, I'm not doing me shop anymore. I just want to get rid of what I've already got. I'll be starting to, do that TikTok thing in a bit, Somebody said, why don't you go up on the seafront and show your things off, like, pose and take photographs? And I'm like, A, I don't have anybody to take the photographs for me. And B, it's that flipping cold up there. I wouldn't want to put a summer top on, and try to look as though it's warm. And our garden is not the prettiest of places to try to take a photograph. When I lived in Prestwich, I used to have a couple of nice places I could stand next to and take a photograph, and it used to look picturesque. I had the hedge and stuff like that. But here, I'm sure people don't want to see me standing next to my shed, do they? I need a photographer to take me up to the seafront and I could put a few things on. No, I've only got part mannequins. I haven't got any full-size ones. They're too expensive to buy now. I've nowhere to put one anyway. But can you imagine me taking... It was bad enough when I bought the half mannequin and I had to sit it behind me. It was naked, obviously. And I had to sit it behind me on my scooter and scoot it back from the lady's house that I bought it from. So I don't really feel like taking it up to the seafront, perching it on a wall somewhere. Somebody suggested I got one of those little carts that you put a little dog in, and drag it behind my scooter. But there's no tow bar on my scooter, so I can't do that. But I've got 3 great big half mannequins that I got from a craft show. I need to get rid of them before long. They're all right for photographs, but I only really need the one. I don't need 4 of them or 3 of them, whatever it is I've got now. I'm sure I can sell them on Marketplace or somewhere. Somebody would want them. Oh, Lady Jane, she got sold. She went to be a World War II nurse in a museum. That's where she went. I couldn't bring her. I haven't got the room here. You can imagine I've got less than a quarter of the room I used to have before. There's no room for a full-size mannequin. So she had to go. This house creaks a lot. It's a bit eerie when you're on your own. Yeah, I used to have a lovely place to take, the mannequin and put the garments on it and take the photos, and they used to look lovely and that. But now I've got nowhere to put the mannequin. Well, I've only got a half mannequin. You're going to have to go yourself. Go where, Mimi? Oh, you're going. Bye. Thanks for coming. Sorry you're going. Bye. I think I've got rid of the wrinkles in my wool. You'd be glad to know. Well, thank you for coming, Mimi. We always enjoy people coming to visit. Where would I be without you? I'd be talking to myself. If nobody came to say hello to me. It'd be a very sad evening, wouldn't it? I'd probably last about half an hour on my own. Oh, my finger. My hand. Why do people keep messaging me? Let's have a look. Doddles, how to keep your sewing machine from doing something or other. I don't know what. Stan Bowles has died at age 75. Stan Bowles, what's he do? Oh, QPR, an England forward. I knew I recognised the name. So if anybody knows Stan Bowles, unfortunately he is no longer. He has passed away. Every time I put the news on or something, somebody else is popping the clogs. As long as it's not me. I'm not wanting to go yet. I've got a shed full of wool to crochet and knit before I go. Otherwise, my friends will have to get here pretty damn quick to take all my crochet books away before my son burns them or something. Before he has a big bonfire with them in the kitchen. Not the kitchen, in the garden. Because they mean nothing to him. They would mean a lot to anybody who knits or crochets and collects, because I've got a whole stash of them, as you probably know, over there. That bookcase over there is completely full. That's not the patterns as well. I've got a shed I mean, somebody said to me, why don't I sort the patterns out? Well, I can't do much else. And I thought, well, it's too cold and I can't feel this hand. So to try to get hold of a pattern, you know, to put it in one of them plastic things, yeah. Kaz has not been on for quite a few weeks, actually. I knew she wouldn't be on last week because it was the anniversary. It was either the anniversary of her husband passing or it was his birthday, one of them two things. So I knew I wasn't expecting Kaz last week. Shad's was on last week, but not this week. No, I must send Kaz a message on Facebook asking if she's okay. I know she'd been ill. She'd had COVID, hadn't she, or something like that. But then she always gets a little bit sort of down in the dumps when it's her husband's anniversary and things, yeah. So I was thinking that's why she was missing. I'm getting pins and needles in my hand now. That's usually a sign I've done too much. I haven't done much at all. This is what's annoying because I want to do things and I can't do them. It's so annoying. I mean, you have times when you go off it, don't you, and you don't want to do it, and that's understandable. But when you can't do it because you've got a physical problem, it's kind of more frustrating because I've got the urge to do the knitting and the crocheting, and my hand says no after about 10 minutes, you know. It's done well, actually, today. It's just started going numb now. I think the warm weather's helped a lot. Yeah, Kaz has never really got over. I mean, it's quite a number of years now since her husband passed away, but she hasn't got over it very well. That's why we don't get BB on very often, because she lost her husband suddenly, didn't she? Was it last year, at the end of the year? I think I always call her BB. She's called Sajid BB. She does send me messages now and again. But I know she lost her husband quite suddenly, I think, right at the end of last year. I haven't rung Sue this week, so I can't give you an update on Sue. I usually chat to her on Saturday. I forgot all about it. I think it's because I went out. I forgot all about her. Maybe I'll try tomorrow. Mine is the weather gets better, she'll be in her garden. Sue's got this massive, massive garden that she's growing vegetables and all sorts of fruit trees and everything in it, yeah. So that's where she is these, you know, the summer months. She's not doing as much knitting and crocheting as she did because she's working part-time as well, for those of you who know Sue. I keep saying I'm going to get to visit her. One of these days I will. I just need a cattle prod to make me do anything these days. I'm in a bit of a rut. You know, it takes a lot to make me move my backside. I keep saying I'll go on holiday and I never do that either. I keep saying I'll go on a coach trip and I never do that either. I'm terrible. And I haven't even bothered getting a passport. We're supposed to be going to Spain in March or April. Unless somebody makes me do anything, I don't do it, yeah. No, I don't need a passport for Scotland. I'll be all right. Although I am noted that the minute I stick my nose over the border in Scotland, Yeah, it rains. I'm noted for that. I've seen more of Scotland in the rain than I've seen anywhere else, yeah. That seemed to be the kiss of death for Scotland. I've seen more. You're going to see your daughter and your grandsons. Woohoo! Who look after your dad, your husband? Well, I've had 2 days out this week where I spent it in bed, to be truthful with you. All because people are having my injections. And I'm getting the side effects when I go back on them again. So annoying. Did I tell you I was annoyed? Did I tell you? I think you might have gathered that I was annoyed, yeah. What puts me off going anywhere is I can't walk anymore. Well, that's a lie. I can physically walk. It's so painful. My back just cramps up and I just feel like screaming. And, my family don't realise because I don't moan too much. And they keep saying, come on, come on, come on. What's up with you? Come on. And I'm like, oh, God. My back just goes into a complete and utter spasm and it's so painful. And they go marching off in front and leaving me behind, saying, come on, come on. What's wrong with you? Keep going, Unless you've actually had. Yeah, well, I do take my little scooter with me when I go in anywhere. But, obviously I can't take it with me on the plane, So it's just a nightmare, really. It's times when when I listen to other people and I say, go and do things while you can. Because when you can't do them anymore, you just can't do them anymore. And it's all right, people saying, oh, you should do this, you should do that, you should go here, you should go there. It's like if I go on a coach holiday, I'd have to take my scooter. I'd have to make sure they'd take my scooter with me. I'd have to make sure that the hotel I was going to had facilities for me. It's all a load of faffing. It's like other people can just nip out and go places and just not think about things like this. It's like I would really love to go to Brighton, and yet my niece is saying you can't go to Brighton because it's such a long journey. And a lot of the hotels are nowhere near the centre. Your scooter would have run out of puff before it got to the shops, I love St Ives, but St Ives is like that and like that, And I know I'll never go back to Skiathos again because that's the same. It's all cobble streets and it's up and down. It's all uneven. So I know I'll never go there again. That's why if I had the money, I'd like to go on a cruise. And then if I didn't want to, I wouldn't have to leave the ship. And I could probably have my little scooter on board and just scoot about, yeah. I'd be the one in the bar that never left the, I'd be saying, oh, is this so-and-so? Oh, that's nice, yeah. Oh, well, good luck with that. They won't do any more procedures on my back now. Too old and it's too knackered. 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 34, 36. I mean, it's gone since, I fell. I did something to my bottom of my spine when I fell. That sweet little dog pushing me off the bed. It just feels like a horse or something has kicked me up the behind you. Weymouth is flat. Oh, right. Val that's on here, she goes everywhere. I'll have to ask her, has she been to Weymouth? It's a question of ever go on a coach. I'd have to go on a coach trip because I can't get there any other way. You know, whether I could manage a scooter and a suitcase at the same time, isn't it? Yeah. I can hide. Yeah, but I'd need a scooter to get to the front, wouldn't I? If I was in a hotel, I wouldn't be able to walk from the hotel to the scooter. I've got a folding scooter. Doesn't get very far. Does about 7 miles, I think, full chat. Yeah, it's only a little thing. It's all right for going around town and going in and out of shops and stuff like that. When I go to Manchester, I take it with me. But it's no good for anywhere around here. By the time I got to Fleetwood, it would have run out of puff. I'd have to charge it up before I could come back. Oh, when I stayed at the Premier Inn, I put my scooter in my room, yeah. Oh, they bring them to the hotel. Well, that's good, isn't it, Val? They'd have to with me. Take me all the time to get down the stairs. Oh, I'm knackered, Val. I've just been knackered this week. I've not been right since I fell, you know. As your Eric said, you walking like I feel. I walk like I wet my pants, honestly. I just walk really badly. Yeah, I had to take assistance when I went last time I flew. I could never have walked that distance in the airport, you know, from where the check-in is. Ah, you're off for dinner tonight. Wowee. Lucky you. Right, we're all going round to Shad's. He's going to have prime rib for his dinner tonight. My necklace is, it's like a knot, but it's not a knot, if you know what I mean. It's all glass beads. It's got a dangle, a dingle dangle. That's what it's like today. Yeah, everybody round to Shad's. He's going round to dinner. I take it you're not cooking it if you're going out to dinner. I take it you're being invited out. Lucky Shad. Mind you, with these teeth, I couldn't chew through anything. They'd have to cut it up really small for me. Another joy of getting old, when your teeth don't work, yeah. I'll be on baby food next, yeah. I used to love a bit of steak, yeah. Yeah, I don't often wear it. It's really sort of, it's just glass, isn't it? But it's sparkly. Sparkly, sparkly. She's got a new calf, Shad, Jill. She thinks it's a boy, but she's not sure. She's not been to have a close look yet. It does seem strange without fairy feet clumping along the landing, clumping across the ceiling. It's so quiet when they're not here. Especially when the dogs are not here as well. I don't think I've had any prime rib for many years, Denise. You're not on your own. We don't eat a lot of red meat now because the price of everything's gone up so much. You're off till next Saturday. Whee! Oh, you lost a young mum and a baby. Oh, that's sad. Hi, Lizzie. How are you? I'm trying to do a bit of knitting. Trying is the operative word here. Shad's going out for some prime rib, Lizzie. We're all going round with him. He could cut me a little bit off. I can't remember the last time I ever had any prime rib. Like I say, we very rarely eat. You battered onion rings. Oh, that sounds nice. I like onion rings. We've not had any for ages. It's hard when you lose animals, isn't it? When you have to have them put to sleep. It's a heartbreaking decision to make when you have to have them put to sleep. You know you're doing the best for the animal, don't you? Because the animal could be in pain or it's very, very ill. But it's still heartbreaking. They're part of the family. You feel like you're condemning your children, don't you? You know, you do everything you can for the animal, don't you? No, I don't think Nick Crosso's pregnant, no. I think she just got a craving. It's not only that, but a big animal like a cow, you've got to dispose of it, haven't you? It's not like, you know, a cat or something that you can bury in the garden, is it? I've not even got my... Oh, I don't know. Oh, you don't want to think about it being eaten by an animal, do you? Oh. Oh. I've not even got a proper box for Buster. He's still in his cardboard box, yeah? Yeah, I've got Buster's ashes here. I keep meaning to buy a lovely wooden box for him, but 6 years on, I've still got him in a cardboard box. Oh, I think zoos would feed them to the animals, and that's not a nice thought, Christine. Knit club. I only went to the evening knit club. I wasn't well on Wednesday, so I didn't go to the afternoon one. I went to the evening one. We had a good laugh, as usual. But I haven't been to the after. I mean, they brought my scooter back in time. I could have gone, but I just wasn't well. And I think the weather started absolutely chucking it down just before I was due to go. And I know my scooter's got sides, but I still don't like going out when it's chucking it down. The first knit club, oh, I think it's still going. I don't know. It's struggling. They don't have many people go anymore now. And the other knit club I went to once, where there was that bossy woman, that's gone altogether. She's given it up now. Hi, Amanda Jane. Yeah, one of my friends still goes now and again to the First Knit Club, but she said it's so boring. She said they're all boring that go there. None of them could knit or crochet, so it got on my nerves. I think I told you the conversation was a bit risque. I just didn't want to go for that kind of conversation. I'm sorry, but I don't. I'm not a prude, but there's a limit, isn't there? You just don't want to listen to crude conversations. Well, I didn't anyway. Oh, yes, we're much more ladylike. I'm sure Val won't agree with me. Val goes to the knit club I do. She comes on here as Eric, but she's actually Val. Yeah, we're more ladylike. They like to think they can knit and crochet, but really they can't. And they just go and they just have rude, crude conversations and pull each other apart. And they're always falling out. And I just got fed up with it. I just went to do my knitting and my crocheting. And then because they couldn't knit or crochet, if anybody come that wanted to learn how to knit or to crochet, they used to fob them off on the ones of us who could. And I'm like, hang on a minute, we're not running the club. If you're running the club and you're offering services to knit and crochet, you should at least be able to do it. So I got really fed up with it. And it was the conversation more than anything. It was down in the gutter sometimes, And I'm sorry, but no. I like to go to knit and crochet. We have other conversations. We don't just talk about knitting and crochet. But they're kind of crafty related when I go to knit clubs. The ones I go to now. People are more genteel, I go to 3 now. I go to the library on a Monday. I go to Cleveley's Methodist Church on a Wednesday afternoon, and then I go to the Larkholm in the evening. Well, it's a knit stroke craft. People don't just knit and crochet. Some do stitching, one lady makes cards. Another lady makes beads, different necklaces and stuff. It's more of a crafting club, the one I go to in the library and the one I go to in the Methodist, and the one in the evening. They do knit mostly and crochet, but they do sew and things like that, yeah. I'm the Dumbo, with my sewing. I'm like, I've still got trousers to turn up from about last year. I'm hopeless. I've got no excuse because my sewing machine's made its way out the shed now. But my excuse at the moment is I can't use this hand very well. You can tell I can't use it, can't you? Because it's got nails. It's pins and needles and dead. Yeah, I've got nails on that hand, all broken off on that hand. That's because I'm doing everything with this hand that I'm breaking all my nails because I'm one-handed at the minute. So it's just so funny. I feel like I've got two people's hands. I've got a hand with nails and a hand without. It's like two different people, one on either side of my body. I'm trying to grow these again. Yeah, our library has one. If you want to go to a knit club, yeah, Amanda Jane, try the library or try a church. Yeah, they do a lot of chatting. We do a lot of chatting. I always take something very plain to do. Val knows I did make a Christmas gnome last year. Was it last year, the year before? They make them out of socks and they glue them with a hot gun. And, you know, I'm absolutely useless when it comes to anything like that. Val is so crafty. But she made these gnomes out of fluffy socks, yeah. I mean, at least Sonia made one, didn't she? I didn't. I didn't make a gnome. You'll never met me sewing that bag, that yin yang bag. You'll never get me making one of them, Val. Yeah, just take granny squares with you, you know, when you go, Christine. Just take a little square to knit or something, or a dishcloth to knit, if everybody's talking. I mean, we do a lot of talking and not a lot of crochet or knitting. That's part of the fun of it, because we go to take ourselves out of ourselves, because we've all got problems in our private lives, you know. And it's just like a couple of hours of having a laugh and a giggle, you know. You know, various ones of us have got different health issues and husbands who are poorly and things like that, you know. It's just nice, isn't it, to get out of yourself and get out the house and have a chat. That's why I trundle my way to the library all the way up to Fleetwood every Monday. I wouldn't go all that way if I didn't enjoy it. But it's best to take something simple with you, you know, because, as you say, people will chat to you. So, you know, if you're trying to concentrate on a lacy pattern or something, it just wouldn't happen, would it? Although one of our members, she does the most fantastic lacy knitting in really thin wool, and she talks as well, and she never seems to go wrong. I tend to take something easy to crochet with me, but I've not been crocheting at the minute. So I've been trying to do this knitting, although my shoulder is absolutely murdering me now. So I'm going to have to stop very soon. I've got some done. Got more than I've done all week. In the good old days, I would have had this done long ago. Yeah, there's the pocket. I've done the pocket. Yeah, it's got a pocket just at the top. Well, under the bust, thankfully, not on the bust. So I've done that bit. So I've done my increasing now. I'm going to stop now because I've got to do 13 rows plain before I get up to the pocket. But this is a fairly easy pattern that I don't have to think about. Oh, except I keep splitting the wool. When I should have 2 strands, I keep finding I've only got 1. Because I'm not concentrating on what I'm doing. Yeah, I've been buying knitting patterns just recently. I must be thinking I'm going to do some knitting. I'll never be Sheila, though. I don't knit quick enough for that anymore. I used to be really quick when I was knitting, really quick. But the older I've gotten, the more arthritic I've got, the slower I've become. I should start knitting some socks. I've got two or three skeins of gorgeous sock wool. But really, you know, I kind of begrudge knitting socks with it because the socks go in your shoes, don't they? Or in my case, in the ankle boots. And nobody actually sees them, only me. So it's such gorge. I've only got one skein. There's not a lot you can make with one skein. Either a hat or mittens. That's about all you can make with one skein. I could do with it in some long arm warmers, you know, because I wear those all the time. I haven't got them on at the minute because my hands actually got warm enough. But now I'm going to have to stop with this row because my shoulder is killing me. But I've done that much today. Done that much. So I've done more than I've done for a bit. It's going to have to stop now because it's painful. I'll tidy up later. I have to tidy up, otherwise the dogs rip everything apart. No, they won't be back until later. Yeah, that's the front. It's got a pocket. Luckily, it's not on the bus line. The bus line's further up, I think, hopefully. Yeah. Oh, one time... I couldn't remember. I've got 1, 2, 3 things on the go at the minute, and that's just enough for me. I've got 1 crocheting and 2 knitting on the go. One of them is only a baby thing, though. I don't understand how people have about 10 things in bags on the go. Got my bag, got my sheep on it, and can't remember where I got this from. Probably eBay. No, not eBay. Etsy, probably, yeah. Yeah, I got your heating pad on. You had to use the lint roller. Oh, dear. You've got 5. I've got 3. Well, 4 if you count one that's been retired that long. You can't really count it anymore. I usually only have 2. You know, I get people and they come on, don't they, and they open all the project bags and they must have, I don't know how much. They've got this in this bag, they've got a pair of socks in that bag, they've got a shawl in that bag, and I'm like, you know, that would put me off. I would hate to just do like 2 or 3 rows on something and then put it away, and then 2 or 3 rows on something else and put it away. I like to knit, really, I like to knit one all the way through, yeah. I've only walked around 4 shops today. And, you know, there weren't 2 charity shops, the food shop and the pharmacy. I walked round and it finished me off for the day. Finished me. I'll have 1 more chocolate. This one's got caramel in the middle. Ooh, looks like a dog biscuit, doesn't it? No, they don't tell you you're going to get old and knackered, do they, Christy? They leave those joys for you to find out later. I mean, Chris isn't that old. He's not a knackered like me. I need to get one of them debobbler things. I had one, but it stopped working. Put a new battery in it, it still didn't work, so I think it was knackered, so I threw it away. I've got a couple of bought sweaters, you know, that have got bubbles on them. I don't like jumpers. You can't do much about, you know, I wouldn't run it over this. Yeah, my shoulder's hurting now. It's the shoulder I broke. This is why I don't knit anymore. Well, not for long. I used to knit all the time, knit. But now my shoulder gets me. The shoulder I didn't break, or so the hospital told me, until I did something to it the second time a few years later, and they said, well, you see, it's on the break where you broke it before. And I'm like, oh, really? I said, you told me when I had an x-ray I hadn't broken it. Oh, yeah, you definitely broke it. But now it's set together. It's set together funny, and they can't do anything about it. But they insisted I hadn't broken it in the first place, yeah. Secret Santa gets me a debobbler. If I don't get one by Christmas, yeah, you can put it out to get me a debobbler. Perhaps I could get one off that horrible site that I won't. I told you, didn't I, Val? I got an email asking me would I promote them and do an email, do a video on them. I've not answered them. Look at that one. Ooh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Can't eat anymore now. I've eaten 3. Is it 3 or 4? One, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now I've eaten 3. That's enough now. Of course I said yes. I said, of course I'm going to give you free advertising worth millions of pounds or thousands of pounds for free while you give me a pile of tact, yeah. The only thing I've used that I bought from them is some pins, for blocking. But I could have bought them for exactly the same price from Amazon. So that wasn't a bargain. The only thing that I might use is a load of cheap zips I got. All different colours, all assorted colours. When I ever make those, what do you call it? Those notions pouches. Did I ever make one of those? I still can't find that one you made me. It's somewhere in the house. I put it somewhere safe. I must have put it somewhere safe. And I don't know where it is. When you gave it to Monica the other day, and I thought, where's mine? I have no idea where I put it. I'll find it one day when I'm looking for something else, yeah. I'm so mad I can't find it. I don't do too bad from Amazon. If I get anything that doesn't work or anything like that, they're very good at taking it back, When you order things like from China or somewhere, you kind of think, well, I can't send it back. It's going to cost me twice as much to post it back to them. And, I just chucked most of it in the bin. As I said, I got this nail file and I filed my nails once with it and there's no, look, it's gone smooth. There's no bubble left on it. You couldn't file your nails with that if you tried. It's smooth in the middle, you see. Smooth. All the bubbles gone off it. That was the first time I used it. That's from that wonderful, look, can you see there? There's no bubbling left on it. And I only filed my nails once with it. That's how good their stuff is. It might be cheap, but it's not cheap and good. It's cheap and nasty. Oh, put these chocolates away. Get thee behind me. Yeah, it'd be all right for opening a letter, yeah. No good for filing your nails, yeah. I've had another one I bought, must be 10 or 15 years ago, and it's still going strong. Diamond nail file, this one. What a load of rubbish. Yeah, I've got a friend who swears by them. Oh, everything I've got from them is wonderful. I'm like, really? I've got a pair of kitchen scissors that bend. No, these are supposed to be diamond ones. They are if you buy them from a reputable source, but as you can see how shiny it is there. All the bubbles have worn off it. It's just flat, shiny metal. You see there, in the middle there, there's no grit left on it. So that's how wunderbar their stuff is. I bought some little squares, you know, like patchwork squares. Honestly, you could read the paper through them. They're that thin. I was going to use them to line, you know, project bags. If I crocheted any project bags, I was going to use them for that. Honestly, you could really read the paper through them. My friend said, oh, mine are all right. You could if you're Sheila. She advertises what I could have done a food haul today, couldn't I? From what I bought from Marks and Spencer's. Except I've eaten half of it now. I can show you my dates. I've not eaten them yet. I can show you my dates I got. My jewel dates. Yeah. Very expensive dates. But they are lovely, lovely. You've got a gorgeous full moon. I'm not looking out. I don't want to look out. It might be snowing or something. I'm hoping it's sunny tomorrow, then maybe I can actually get in the shed. I'm going to open my dates. It's the only kind of date I ever get. Terribly expensive, Marks and Spencer's. Woo! Terribly, terribly expensive. And I have to be careful what I do with the stones because my son told me off. Because Trixie found a stone. How she found a stone, I don't know. Because I'm always very careful with all my stones. But Trixie. And I don't know where she got it from because I didn't even put it in the bin in here. I put it in the bin in the kitchen, which is a swing bin. So how the heck she got a stone, I don't know. Yeah. There they are. Dates, look at that. Aren't they gorgeous? Oh. Going to enjoy those. Are you going to beddy bows, are you now, Yolanda? Good night there. I'll have one. Seeing as I've been eating chocolates. I'd better not start eating all the dates. Oh, look at that. The only thing wrong with these is they've got stones in. Running out of spaces to put things. Oh, 23:48. Today's done. Tonight's gone very quick. I was so tired when I first came on. And then I took my 2 painkillers and I thought, I'm going to go to sleep here. But I'm actually still in the land of the living, which is just a shock. Manny, I can go to bed without having to tidy all my wool and everything away. because there's no dogs, so I can just go to bed, tidy up tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Stone. I like dates, I like prunes, but I'm not so keen on figs for some reason. I have bought them, from Holland and Barrett and places like that. And sometimes they're very dry. They're not juicy at all. I like my prunes and that to be quite juicy. Oh, shush, phone. Why have I got messages? Oh. MMA fighting, I don't want to know. Anthem Deck Saturday night, what they're doing now. Anthem Deck Saturday night takeaway fans slam disappointing final series and claim that it has now run its course. Really? I don't watch it anyway, so I wouldn't know. Fig Newtons, what are them? Are they biscuits? I like fig biscuits. I got a packet though the other week and they were really, really dry. I'm sure they used to be squishier. Your package will be delivered tomorrow. Really? Oh, it's my toenail stuff. Me toenail stuff for my fingernail. For my weird fingernail. I've got brachia, whatever it's called. I've got weird thumbs. But it's that corner there. No, it isn't. It's that corner there. That corner there. That's like an ingrowing. I don't know whether you can see it or not. It's so sore. No, I've got weird thumbs. I've got my dad's thumbs. What do they call it? Brachycardia or something. Where you've got little short thumbs. And your nails grow at a funny angle. Can you see how the nail grows out at a funny angle? Everybody goes, haven't you got funny thumbs? Yep. I was born with them. I've had them all my life. They're shorter than most people's and they're something to do with the joints in the wrong place or something. They work as thumbs, so I guess we've all got our weird bits, haven't we? Mine's my thumbs. Oh, my toe. I've got a little toe. Tiny little toe. But I dare say everybody's got something strange. Well, none of us perfect, are we? Although, some girls try to be perfect, don't they? I was thinking about, we look at grandma's photographs, don't we? We have a bit of a giggle, And even my generation, we look at some of our wedding photographs and have a bit of a laugh, at some of the styles and the headgear and whatever it was. And I was wondering what the grandchildren of the future are going to look back at their grandmas with these big fur lashes on and big pneumatic kind of lips. What they're going to say? What the hell? Fake boobs. What they're going to say about their grandma? Oh, look at grandma. Yeah, my thumbs have lasted me 78 years, so. But it's sore. It's really hurts. I mean, I've had an ingrowing toenail years ago, and that really blooming hurt. But this one's my finger. And it don't matter what you're doing, you tend to touch the top of your thumb. And it's so sore. Oh, gosh. Oh, was talking to a lady, we were talking about what did we get married in. And she said she got married in a white shirt and jeans. And I went, to me, that's, I thought at least make a bit of an effort, put, put a dress on of some description. Yeah, she just went and got married just in a pair of jeans and a t-shirt. That went against. I didn't want a really, really big fuss, and my wedding dress was quite plain. But I did want some semblance of tradition or whatever. I didn't want a big frou-frou gown, and I didn't want the coach and horses and all the rigmarole and everything. But I did want to look nice, on my wedding day. Yeah. I wouldn't have dreamt of getting married in a pair of jeans. I don't own a pair of jeans. So, and I think I upset her because I don't think I've seen her since. Hi, Lydia. Yeah, you are on the last minute. Actually, you're on the last 5 minutes because I usually go at midnight. And it is 5 to midnight right now. But at least you know you're on the last minute, Lydia. We're just talking about somebody getting married in pajamas or getting married in a pair of jeans, I did wear jeans when I was younger. I had one pair, but I've never been a jeans person. I think you are, or you're not, aren't you? I was probably a bit more girly than jeans. I think the only jeans I had were pale blue, but they were stretch. They weren't technically Levi jeans or anything like that. They were sort of jeans, but they were. I've never been a. You either are or you're not, Lydia, aren't you? I'm just not a jeans person. Some people are happy wearing jeans every day, and other people don't like them. I don't own a pair. Not owned a pair in the last 20 odd years. Yeah. Yeah. No, I was a kind of my generation though didn't wear trousers much. That came a little bit later on. We just, you don't forget, I'm a lot older than most of you. So when I was growing up, girls didn't wear trousers. It's it kind of came in. You became fat, yeah, because the jeans waistband keeps you trimmed, doesn't it? I probably should have stopped wearing skirts with a fixed waistband, shouldn't I? And stopped wearing skirts with elasticated waist. It's true though, isn't it? Because you don't, when your jeans or well, I never wore jeans, but when your trousers or your skirt got too tight because it had a fixed waistband, you knew you'd put weight on, didn't you? But now we all wear elasticated, the inch or two doesn't make much difference. Well, yeah, larger and larger. I'm trying my best to go the other way, Lydia. I have put £6 on since I stopped having my injections, but now I'm back on them again. They don't make me slim, don't get me wrong. It just stops me getting any bigger, I cannot say to you, oh, this injection has lost pounds off me, because it hasn't, yeah. But it has maintained me and stopped me getting bigger, yeah. Yeah, they are. Well, there's nothing worse, though, is there, in a pair of jeans and a muffin top hanging over the top. The guys who wear their jeans slung underneath their big fat belly. That is not a good look, is it? Come on. When they say, I'm 34 waist, and I'm like, no, you're 34 hip, because if you measured yourself around your waist, you'd be a 44 waist, I don't know why they have to wear them a lot. You've seen them, haven't you, these guys? They wear them low slung, don't they? And then if they wear a shirt, it's like that, the buttons, across their belly. And you're like, oh, God, please. Please put your jeans away, yeah. I I used to wear a girdle. We all did when we were young, and I was as skinny as they can be when I was young. But my mum insisted we wore a girdle. Keep your stockings up, yeah. And I haven't worn a girdle for years and years and years. I did buy some of those suck-in things, you know, that the Kardashians are supposed to. I was going to my niece's wedding many years ago, and the dress I was wearing was kind of fitted. So I got a pair of those, you know, all-in-one pant things. I don't know what they're called. All the stars were wearing them, weren't they? They're just absolutely not flattering. They're just like a pair of short johns, aren't they? Not long johns. Oh, God, I hated them. The fat just comes out above your bust or you get fat knees, you know. It's got to go somewhere. It doesn't disappear. The fat does not disappear. It's a waste. What I don't care what the Kardashians tell you. It does not suck you in. Yeah. Oh, God. I don't mind bare tummies if they're slender. I do. Yes, Spanx, that's the kind of thing I wanted, Lydia. I don't like bare tummies when they're too fat and they're hanging over. You know that roll they get between the pants and the mini top. They have this roll that hangs out either side. It's not pretty. And I'm like, do they not know what they look like, you know? Yeah, it does. It looks like that. What was it called, that Doughboy thing? When you opened it and it went out of the box. Those biscuit things, yeah. I mean, they don't look nice. Why do they think they look nice? There was a girl in front of me the other day and she was only in her 20s. My goodness me. And I'm like, oh, please, you know, you're so young and you're that size. You're either going to have a heart attack or something. You're not going to bring them little children up because you're going to have died of something before you get that age. She was massive. Absolutely massive. Belly, bottom, boobs, massive. And you're like, oh, yeah. I tried them on to go to my niece's wedding, and in fact, I don't have them because I just got rid of them when I moved house. I thought, you are never going to wear these. And I paid a lot for them. They weren't a cheap pair. But I put them on and I thought, I am never going to a wedding and sitting and eating a buffet or whatever it is with these on. Yeah, why do men wear the trousers underneath the bellies? Women don't do that. And women have got a big belly. They wear elastic pants, don't they? Men don't. Men sling the trousers like underneath their belly somewhere. And I'm like, not a pretty look, is it? You know, it's hanging over his belly. Ugh. Oh, God. I had an all-in-one once when I was younger with hooks and eyes underneath. Go to the ladies' room. Can you hook it up again? Can you, the devil? No. Because you hook it on and get in it, don't you? You don't hook it on when you've got it on. So when you undo it, when you go to the ladies' room, you cannot hook it back together again. And it's not the kind of thing you can ask a friend to do, even if it's your best friend. You cannot ask them to. Mind, you remember the hoops in wedding dresses? The big hoop things, the crinolines. My friend got married wearing one of these, which was all very well and good until she wanted to go to the ladies. She couldn't get in the ladies' toilet door. Her bridesmaid had to hold her dress up over her head with the door open because they couldn't shut the door because of this big whatever. And she had to back her like that onto the toilet. And then this poor girl couldn't get her drawers down because she couldn't get her hands past all this foo-foo-fooey. So they had to come back out again while her bridesmaid, who luckily was her best friend, had to pull her drawers down while they backed her back into the toilet again while she finally had her wee. What a performance. Yeah. don't think of these things to these brides when they're wearing these massive. I always think that, you know, that gypsy weddings or something, yeah. Munchkin, you are. My friend walked into them by accident. She came back out and she was bright red. And I said, "What's wrong, Anne?" And she goes, "I walked into the wrong toilet." She said, "I walked in and all these men having a pee." Oh dear. I said, "Did you not have your glasses on?" Because she wore glasses, but she was a bit vain. So when we went out, you know, dancing and stuff, she used to take glasses off, put them in her handbag. I said, "Did you not have your glasses on?" She went, "No." I said, "Well, for God's sake, when you want the toilet next time, put your glasses on. Make sure you don't get the wrong one." Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, can you imagine great big hoop things like, you know, hoops? You had to put it over it. She was like, you know, St. Mary's shell. You had to put it over her head. I mean, we were all in the toilets waiting for the toilet to get free again because she was taking half an hour to even get in the toilet to get a wee. Thankfully, the bridesmaid didn't have such a big hoop, so she managed okay. Mm. Minding my cousin, she was getting in the taxi to go on her way to the wedding, and she had hoops in her wedding dress, and one of them snapped. And we have a picture of her dad and the chauffeur of the car underneath her wedding dress, trying to fix this wire together because it was poking out at a funny angle. She couldn't like leave it because it was making the dress go weird. So there's a photograph of her dad and the chauffeur under the frock trying to mend this wire. Luckily, she was still at home, so her dad had to go back in the house for his pliers and everything to try and get this wire back together again. But can you imagine the photograph? Two men up underneath a skirt on her wedding day. She said, "Well, what else could I do?" She said, "I couldn't go with me. It was poking out this wire." And then another of my cousins was going out of the house and she got her veil snagged on a rose bush and it broke the comb, you know, on a tiara thing, yeah. And she was only left with her dad. Her mum and everybody had gone, and he's like, "I don't know much about tiaras and that." Luckily, he was a plumber, and he was trying to fix her tiara with a bit of wire and stuff, bit of fuse wire, and trying to fix her tiara. So she looked okay on the wedding photograph. She couldn't tell it were mended. And she's like, "Well, I can't go without it. No, I can't. Nothing will call me veil on, you know." So he's like trying to mend this tiara. My wedding story was the organist didn't turn up. We got to church and the vicar's standing outside, and I thought, this isn't good. And he said, "We have a bit of a problem." And I thought, "Oh, good, he's not turned up, you know. Can we go home now?" And I said, "Has he not turned up?" And he went, "Oh, yeah, the groom's turned up." He said, "But the organist hasn't." He said, "What do you want to do?" So my dad said, "Well, she's hardly likely to say she'll come back next week, is she?" He said, "We'll have to just walk down the aisle." So the vicar ran down the aisle and he's trying vainly to get everybody to sing with no organist. All out of tune and all over the place. And I'm clomping down the aisle, you know, when your feet go clump, 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 because there was no carpet, you know. It was a good start to the wedding. Should have been an omen, shouldn't it, really? And then I had a wasp. I had my veil over my face, like you did in those days. And I had a wasp crawling up in between the layers of the veil. I'm terrified of wasps because I'm allergic to them. And this wasp is crawling up. So I cannot remember anything about my wedding, vows, nothing, because I was too busy watching this wasp crawling up my veil. Yeah. So I don't know what the hell I promised at my wedding because I can't remember. Yeah. It wasn't until he actually threw the veil back that the wasp got out and flew away in the church. Yeah. And all I could say to my then husband was, "Has the wasp gone?" Because he kept saying, "What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?" The first thing I saw was he didn't get his suit until the morning of the wedding, and his trousers were too short. They were half-mast trousers. So as I'm walking down the aisle, I'm looking at his trouser legs thinking, what the hell has he got on? And I'm looking at him and I say, what's the matter with your trousers? What's wrong with your trousers? This is me there's the vicar saying, we're gathered here together. And I'm going, what's the matter with your trousers? And then I noticed the wasp. So it wasn't a wedding made in heaven house. All my flowers were dead. We complained bitterly to the florist. Apparently they made them up the night before, didn't put them in the fridge, and it was a very hot day and the flowers were half dead. And then the caterer dropped me wedding cake. Oh dear. So for the wedding photographs, they had to turn the cake round and put something in front of it, wine glasses or something in front of it, because right at the front, like where your groom and whatnot is on the top, it was all bashed in because she dropped the bottom layer, the caterer. Oh God, my wedding was a farce from start to finish. Can you imagine clomping down the aisle in silence? You know, there were no hymns, no nothing. Oh, the honeymoon was even better. We stayed in the hotel and it was a room with a wash basin. The toilet was somewhere else. So I gets up and I'm having a wash and the duvet is going down the bed. My husband was laying in bed. The duvet's going down the bed. And I'm like, there's somebody under the bed. I said, I'm going to kill somebody. There's somebody under that bed. I said, I'm going to kill him. And he's going, don't be stupid. There's nobody under the bed. And then even he realised that the duvet was going down the bed and underneath the bed. And he goes, what the shit's going on here? I said, look under the bed. He's going, you look under the bed. I said, no, you look under the bed. So eventually he gets the duvet and he looks under the bed. He lets out one bloody squawk. And I thought, oh God, there's somebody under the bed. This big ginger cat come flying out from under the bed. The bed was an old bed and it had a hessian, like a sling underneath it, and the cat. So this cat's, yeah! So he opens the door, lets the cat out, and it's shot down the landing. And the landlady goes, oh, is that where Tiddles has been all night? We wondered where he'd gone. Yeah, bloody great fat cat. I thought somebody's been under the bed all night. So it was great. My honeymoon was great. We did go down to St. Ives the following day. We drove all the way to St. Ives. And I got so sunburnt that he couldn't come anywhere near me for the rest of the honeymoon. Yeah, Tiddles or something it was called. This bloody great ginger cat. The fattest ginger cat I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, we had a wonderful... my wedding was like an omen. You know, we should have known, you know, it was doomed. It was doomed to failure from the kickoff. Yeah, I got sunburnt. It wasn't sunny. It was windy. But I got sunburnt. So every time he came in here, I'm going, go away, go away, go away. So he had a wonderful honeymoon on his own on the other side of the bed. Don't touch me. I'm in agony. Don't touch me. Yeah, it was great. Oh, dear. I had to go to my friend's wedding the week after. She had the same organist. He turned up. He'd gone fishing, apparently. It was the days before the mobile phones. He got it mixed up and he'd gone fishing. The mother didn't know where he'd gone, couldn't find him. He came to apologise for not turning up. I thought it's a bit late now. Yeah. Oh, his trousers. Oh, they were... If I ever find a wedding photograph, I'll show it to you. His trousers were... All it was his socks and trousers. Oh, God, he looked like something off a comic cuts. I went back the week after we come back from the wedding and I played holy hell with them at the tailor's. I said, you're supposed to have we paid for a tailored suit. I said, first of all, you lost it. And then you finally got it on the morning of the wedding. The day before the wedding, he didn't have a suit. And I would say, well, take it to your other suit to the cleaners because I can't be married in my old suit. I said, you've got to be married in something. What happens if the suit doesn't turn up? It was reputable tailors. Anyway, when they turned up and the trousers were like too short, he couldn't do anything about it because he was being married at 4 o'clock and this was like lunchtime. And he had these short trousers, yeah. I played holy hell with him. And he's going, well, we measured it. I said, well, he hasn't grown. I said, since a week. He hasn't grown since you measured him for this suit. Well, he took it. I said, what do you expect him to do? He accepted it. He took it. I said, yeah, he was being married in 4 hours. What did you expect him to do? To say, no, I can't take this suit. What did you expect him to do? I mean, I was very quiet, very shy, but when I get riled, I get on one, He wasn't for going to causing a scene, but I roasted him. I think we finished up with, I don't know whether we finished up with a new pair of trousers and new something else, yeah. He wasn't particularly tall, no, he wasn't 6 foot, he was about 5'11", I think. But these trousers must have been meant for sort of, and his best man had gone with him to the same tailor's and been measured. There wasn't any hem to let out. That was the problem. There wasn't any hem. But I mean, I didn't know about it until the actual wedding because he only got the trousers about 4 hours before he got married. His best man, he went to the same place, yeah, got measured at the same time. His was spot on. His suit was fantastic. You would have thought they'd gone to 2 different tailors, No, I think they made him a new pair of trousers, if I remember rightly. But of course, it was too late. The wedding photographs, he's all got these short trousers on his wedding photographs. Oh, it wouldn't have been so bad if he'd have had a pair of boots or something to wear, to take the gap up from the sock. I was more concerned about, I said, what the hell have you got on? There's me walking down the aisle. What the hell are you wearing? Thought you were gone for a new suit. He said, I did. This is my suit. We're having this argument in front of the vicar. And we were still having the argument on the car going to the reception. I should have married the best man. You're right. He turned out to be nearly a millionaire. I should have married the best man. Thankfully, no, he didn't have white socks on. They weren't the same colour as his suit, which was another bugbear. They weren't. Because he would have a blue, like a navy blue suit, and he had black shoes, and I think he had black socks or something. It wouldn't have been as bad if he'd have put navy blue socks on, but And he goes, well, they're not that bad, are they? I said, not that bad. I said, you can take them straight back to the tailors. Oh, did I rip them up and down? He stood there like that. I don't think he'd ever seen me in an hour before. I was blazing. I said, you ruined my wedding day. I was the same with the florist. I ripped her off a strip and I said, my wedding day, I said, and dead flowers. I said, they were all brown around the edges, me flowers, yeah. I think that's why it had attracted the wasp, because they were shocking. And I wouldn't mind, but she worked. The florist was right opposite where I worked, and we knew them well. Oh, tell you, it was a lovely day. That's the only thing about it. It was a lovely day. Sunny, gorgeous day. Beautiful. And on the way there, we're driving there. We couldn't get wedding cars. So we had the funeral cars dressed up with the flowers. It was a funeral car. Yeah, a black funeral car. We're driving along, and my dad said to me, you don't want to do this, do you? And I went, no. And he said, well, turn the car around and we'll just go home. And I said, I can't. My mother will kill me. I said, there's a church full of her relatives, you know, church full. I said, we can't. I said, why didn't you tell me this? I said, you know, when I come and told you I was pregnant and my mother arranged my marriage for me. I said, why didn't you tell me I didn't have to marry him back then? He goes, well, your mother, he said, I didn't like to. He said it was just like a railroad. She just railroaded everything and arranged everything, you know, and it was all done, dusted. I had nothing to do with it, you know. So I nearly didn't go to my own wedding. It was an omen, I tell you. We were never meant to be. He didn't want to get married. He didn't. He definitely didn't want to be a father. It was all too much for him. Oh, dear. I was like the Stopford wife, you know, the Stepford wife, the Stopford wife. Did everything. Kept the house clean, did everything. You know, thought I had to do everything. I thought it would get better, you know, if I was the brilliant wife that cooked, cleaned, looked after the baby, did everything. I thought everything would be glorious, but when only one person in a marriage is working at it, it doesn't work, does it? I glossed over everything for ages, you know, thinking it'll work out. You know, you get married for life, don't you? You don't get married to get divorced. You get married for life. And I believe that you had to stick it out, you know. My mum and dad had a good marriage, and everybody else I knew had a good marriage. And I just thought it would last forever or something. But, you know, phew, was I ever wrong here? But that's another story for another day, innit? And I'm going to go to bed now. I'm going to put my chockies away. Put my chockies away. But this is all stuff I can't talk about because my son thinks his dad's wonderful. So I'm not allowed to say one word. So it does get a bit frustrating at times when I'm the big bad wolf that threw his dad out, yeah. But that's the way it is, isn't it, some days? So I just grit my teeth and bear it and don't say a word. And I found a lovely man after that, gorgeous. But sadly, you know, I loved him, he didn't love me. Or so it turned out, yeah. And I still miss him after all these years. Yeah, but still, there's always the one that got away. The one that might have been, the one that you thought was the right one. I think I had my eyes shut to him as well, but I think I wanted it to be more than he did. So 9 years I had with him, on and off. I never lived with him. What happened to him, he met somebody else. He was much younger than I was. I think he was 13 years, 15 years younger than me. And he met someone else because I never lived with him. But he's always will be the one that got away, yeah. I'll always love him because he picked me up, dusted me down when my life was in ruins and I was down at the bottom. And my ex had convinced me I was fat, ugly, nobody would love me, and I hadn't got one thing going for me, blah, de, blah, de, blah. And he picked me up and made me into this super confident woman that I am now. So you can't, even though he sort of dumped me in the end, I can never hate him for that, you know, because he was the one who used to say, you know, what's the matter? You know, there's nothing wrong with you. You're gorgeous. You know, you're lovely. And he'd say all these things to me that my ex never did. You know, I'd say to him, I've put a few pounds on. Do you think I should lose it? He'd say, no, just all the more for me to love. You know, he was just, and everything was like even with him. He never lost his temper. He just, you know, I couldn't do any wrong, you know, with him. He was just complete opposite. like to my ex, you know. He just treated me like I was a goddess, really. He was just, you know. But sadly, obviously, he didn't love me, which was hard to bear at the time, yeah. Because I thought everything was going swinging, like, you know, I thought everything was fine, and then rug out from under me. Yeah, the millennium. I spent the millennium in tears because that's when it all happened. Everybody else was like, "Oh, the millennium! Oh, Happy New Year!" And I spent it in tears, absolutely sobbing my heart out. And there's never been anybody else since. I've met a load of frogs after that. Frogs after frogs after frogs. And now I just don't care. I just don't even want a frog. I don't care anymore. I don't want anything or anybody now. No frogs, no nobodies. My time of life. Yeah. And on that note, I am going to go to bed now. Yeah. Well, I think it was his loss. He obviously doesn't think that. Otherwise, he might have been back in touch because he's single again now. But yeah, I don't know much about the person he married. I don't know much about her, except she's now passed away, sadly. So he's on his own again now. But obviously, he's not bothered about me. Otherwise, he might have been back in touch. But no. We say hi over the internet now and again. But that's it. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. So, unless I'm going to meet a lovely millionaire, ha, it's going to sweep me off my feet. Or better still, I win the millions, yeah? And then I won't care. Anybody sweeps me off my feet, yeah. Yeah, I wasted 23 years, I think it was, of my life trying to paper over the cracks. And you shouldn't do it, really, should you? Yeah. Right, good night, Chris. I'm glad you're feeling better. But we missed you last week. You were missed. You were missed. And I shall speak to you all very soon, yeah. I won't be doing a video tomorrow. There's one for today if you haven't watched it. You've wasted time with the wrong person, yeah. Why do we do it? Why do we think it's going to turn out right? Why do we think if we try a bit harder it'll work? And it doesn't, does it? If it's not right, it's not right. We shouldn't try to. Well, anyway, I think about my grand's age group and even my mum's age group. They used to stick through their husbands, didn't they, through thick and thin? Yeah. Val has got a new mattress, and every time she gets in bed, it swallows her up like a big soft pillow. Have you got the hang of it yet, Val? She bought a new one, and I don't think it's not a memory foam, but it's one of those that she like has to climb out over the sides to get out of it. She had us all in stitches on Wednesday describing this bed where she couldn't get out of it. Give it to Eric. Tell him he's got to have the bed. You'd have to put a rope at the side so you can climb out of it. Hand over hand, a rope ladder, so you can climb out again if you get stuck in the middle. She said it was like being in a straitjacket. She just went, the sides came up and went. Yeah, she said she was like a burrito. And she got rid of the other mattress and the other bed. So she was stuck with this new one. Mine was the opposite. Mine was like that. When I sat on it, got on it at first time like a pea on a drum. It took me 3 years to build a bit of a groove in it so I can. And even now I have to get a step ladder to get in my bed. It's just Val's the opposite. She can't get out of hers. Do you shout help for Eric if he gets stuck, Val? Help! Help! I'm stuck in my bed. Can't make you breakfast, love. I'm stuck in my bed. Anyway, enjoy your sleep tonight, Val. And I hope we see you on Wednesday. I hope you've climbed out of bed by then. Oh, we have to have a laugh, don't we? Right, I'm off to Betty Bows. Yeah, you did leave me laughing, yeah. After my little bit about my ex and Charlie, yeah. What's that his name? He doesn't watch me, it's all right. Right, bye, everybody. Thank you all for your company and your thumbs up. I've got quite a lot of thumbs up. Thank you. Bye. Don't forget to look at my video I made earlier. At least give me a thumbs up even if you don't like it. I need to raise my profile. Yeah. Bye now.